It's a sunny day here in South Yarmouth as the Whitey Red Sox look to bounce back for their worst loss of the season last night in Chatham, a 15-1 loss at the hands of the Anglers as they return home here to Red Wilson Field and will throw out the Cape League pitcher of the week in John Beller, looking to get back on the winning track. Hi, everyone. I'm TJ Mathewson alongside my broadcast partner, Brian McLaughlin.
Ladies
And
and
it wasn't a pretty
gentlemen,
game we saw in
would you
Chatham
please
last night.
welcome
The Anglers
Sarah
were all over
Spur
the Red
and
Sox,
Jason
pitching
Granbat,
15 runs on
the owners
13
of
hits. There were
Y'all's
numerous
Wicked
control
Kitchen,
problems for
as
this
they
Red
throw
Sox
out the
staff
first pitch
against a
tonight.
team that they really have
Y'all's
not been
Wicked
able to figure
Kitchen
out
is
all season in
located
the Chatham Anglers.
at
They really haven't. They're one of the few
1076
teams that
Route 28
has
in
had the Red
South
Sox
Yarmouth.
number.
Let's
In the
have a
Chatham
nice welcome
Anglers, Colby
for Sarah
Kubicek on
and
the mound was
Jason.
incredible to start last night. The Whitey offense never got rolling. And then from there, it was all the Anglers offense. Nobody could do anything really on the mound. And eventually we saw some position players out there for YD. So a fun little moment for the likes of Drew Swift, Sam Hall, Riley Terrata. But overall, it was a rough showing last night for YD. Like you said, TJ, just a team that for some reason has had YD's number to start the year.
Yeah, in the 3 games against the Chatham Anglers this season, the Red Sox have scored 3 runs, 2 runs, and 1 run. Last night, just a run on 4 hits, and probably the most overwhelmed they've looked all season against the Anglers, who really had everything working for them. Cool moment, as you mentioned, for Drew Swift, a closer in high school at Hamilton High School, and struck out the side in the 7th inning of the ball game yesterday. Did give up a 2-run home run to Paxton Wallace in his second home run of the season, but still a really cool moment for him. He was sitting mid-80s and had off-speed stuff working as well.
Yeah, he was looking good on the mound, switching up his arm angle a little bit, dropping down sidearm. At times, he would rear back with the fastball over the top. And then Sam Hall came in touching 88, and Riley Terrata said earlier today to me that he was just trying to create soft contact. He couldn't believe he got a strikeout. He was just trying to throw to the bat, and sometimes that's how it works. So great for those 3 guys. Like you said, Swift, the closer in high school, gets to come back out on the mound, and 3 Ks, those are moments that those guys will never forget.
Charlie Welch of the Anglers had the pleasure of striking out twice versus 2 different Whitey Red Sox position players in the 7th and 8th innings of the ball game last night. Well, the Red Sox, to look to get back on the winning track, they're going to turn to the most recent Cape Cod League pitcher of the week in John Beller, who, thanks to his 5 shutout and 1-hit innings in Bourne on Monday, earned the honors. First time a Whitey pitcher has been highlighted as the Cape League pitcher or player of the week. Austin Wells won Cape Cod League Player of the Week, first week of the season. It's been a real treat watching him pitch here so far.
Yeah, John Beller, not a guy that really overpowers you. His fastball is going to be in the mid to upper 80s, but then because of his great off speed, he mixes his curveball. He sometimes has the 12-6 curveball. Then he has one that's a little more slider-like with a little more velocity that moves laterally. And then he's even got a changeup in there as well that he can throw successfully. And that makes the fastball look faster on the mound, and he can use that up in the zone to throw guys off balance. And so he's a crafty guy with a lot of those sharp off-speed pitches that really make him successful on the hill. It was great to watch him follow up with Trent Denholm the other night against Bourne. You and I were on the call, and those two were just absolutely dealing. Beller's got the confidence on the mound. He just pitches with an attitude. It feels like he owns the entire field when he's out there. And that's the goal tonight. And when you don't have overpowering stuff, that mental mindset that he possesses is really what is so important and helps him have so much success on the mound.
So we're in TV timeout right now. Fox College Sports is here at Red Wilson Field for the first time on this Cape League season, the first of several broadcasts that Fox will be doing, highlighting the Cape Cod League this season. So Beller enters a 1-0 record, a 2.07 ERA. This is going to be his 3rd game and his 2nd start in 8 2/3 innings. He has struck out 12 and walked just 1 batter. The players got to play some duck, duck, goose in the outfield with the Little Leaguers here at the field today. As we await first pitch here from South Yarmouth, we'll step aside. When we come back, we'll have starting lineups and more on the other side of this break on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. And we're ready for baseball here in South Yarmouth. The 9-6-1 Whitey Red Sox hosting the top dog in the Western Division, the Wareham Gatemen. Visit Red Wilson Field for the first time this summer. A struggling lineup. They've scored just 5 runs in their last 3 games, and they'll get the reigning Cape Cod League Pitcher of the Week in John Beller, the sophomore out of USC. Here's who he'll face. Leading off, a Pac-12 opposition, the center fielder out of Washington, it's Braden Ward. Batting second, Darren Baker out of Cal. The first baseman, Jacob Teeter, will bat third. Adrian Del Castino will bat cleanup and be behind the plate. Matt McLean will be over at third base. Benjamin Sems, the shortstop, will bat sixth, pardon. Batting seventh, the designated hitter, Dallas Beaver. Batting in right field, batting eighth is Mike Antico out of St. John's. And Matthew Rudick, the left fielder out of San Diego State, will round out the 9 for Jerry Weinstein. Here for the Wareham Gatemen, who visit Red Wilson Field for the first time this summer. These two met up for the first time this season, 3rd game of the Cape Cod League season, up in Boston at BC High, a 10-3 Red Sox victory. Red Sox had 10 runs on 14 hits. Of those 14 hits, 9 of them went for extra bases
Wareham,
as they pounded
center fielder from the
Wareham Gatemen pitching staff,
number 50,
as the Red Sox are looking to bounce back from their worst loss in the point streak era, a 15-1 loss. Last night in Chatham, it was ugly from start to finish. So here's Braden Ward, the center fielder out of Washington. He rides a 7-game hit streak, hitting .306 this season. He'll step in from the right side. Beller, the left-hander, a Pac-12 counterpart out of USC. Kicks and will fire the first pitch. Ward shows bunt. Curveball catches the outside corner, and we're underway here from South Yarmouth.
There's that curveball from Mr. Beller. Starts it off early, squaring to bunt. At the plate was Ward, but the curveball in there for a strike.
Ward, the sophomore outfielder, 5'10", 145 pounds. There's the fastball from Beller, dots the outside corner, and the count will go to 0-2. We apologize for the no video feed today here from Red Wilson Field. Today's game is being aired on Fox College Sports. You can find that in your cable provider. 0-2 on the way from Beller. Out of the windup. Pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Ward chases a pitch up around his eyes as Beller starts tonight like he ended Monday night as he strikes out Ward to start this ball game.
Darren Baker.
8K is Monday night. He was really working on the mound, and he set that up with a couple pitches down low. First one was definitely off speed, and then he comes up with the fastball that's not going to overpower these guys, but when he throws that off speed, they can't catch up to it.
Here's Darren Baker, the sophomore out of Cal. First pitch, he shows bunt as well, tries to lay it down, but pushes it foul. It bounced straight back behind home plate into the on-deck circle where Jacob Teeter stands. And the count's 0-1. Darren, the son of Dusty Baker, longtime Major League Baseball manager, is having an excellent Cape League season, hitting .311. Waits the 0-1. Swinging a ground ball right back at Beller. He picks it out of the dirt. He'll lob a curveball over to first base, and it's not in time. A lob from the mound on Beller. It didn't look like he had a good grip on that one. Wold had to jump up in the air to stab it, and by the time he landed on the pillow, Baker beats it out for an infield single.
Wow, that's a bang-bang play over there at first.
Teeter.
Actually looks like it's going to be an E1 on Beller. So Baker reaches on the error here in the first inning. A 1-out base runner will bring up Jacob Teeter. Teeter hitting .345 this summer with 2 doubles, a home run, and 8 RBIs. This Gateman offense struggled recently, 5 runs in the last 3 games, but one of the top hitting teams in the Cape. Beller sets at the chest level, out of the stretch. First pitch will miss outside. An off-speed pitch from Beller. It's 1-0. The Gatemen entered today 3rd in runs, just behind Whitey. First in average at 277. 3rd in on base, 2nd in total bases, although they've hit the 3rd fewest home runs in all of the Cape. Teeter from the left side out of Florida Southern awaits the 1-0, swing and a foul straight back, and that evens up the count at a ball and a strike. Baker off of first, 2 for 3 on stolen bases this summer. Teeter this season at Florida Southern in the spring hit .316 in 50 games. He bats from the left side. Left-hander Beller out of USC sets right on the mound. He pauses right at his chest level, and time's called from Tim Carey behind the plate. And the count will stay at 1-1 strike. Different view for us today, too. So we're out on the deck here at the press box at Red Wilson Field. Normal press box with the video feed occupied by Fox. Beller sets again, and the 1-1 on the way. Swing and a fly ball out to shallow left field. Andrew Eister will come in, guiding to his left. He's there and makes the catch on Teeter for out number 2 here in the first inning. So let's take a look at the Whitey defense. Eister in left field making the catch for out number 2. Austin Wells will be in center field, and Brad Beasley will be over in right field. Across the infield, it's Riley King at third, Wyatt Young at short, Tate Samuelson at second, and Jack Thomas Wold at first. And Noah Cardenas will do the catching for John Beller here tonight. So 2 down for Beller. Here's Adrian Del Castino, hitting .306 this summer with 3 doubles and 2 home runs. First pitch to him, swing and a miss, and the count's 0-1. Out of Miami, he's one of 4 straight gatemen atop this lineup, hitting over 300. Just finished up his freshman season at Miami, a native of Miami, Florida. He bats from the left side. Beller sets 0-1. Swinging a fly ball out to right field. This will push Beasley back a few steps. He looks up for it. He finds it, and he'll make the catch for out number 3. So, after allowing a runner to reach on an error, Beller able to get out of the first inning unscathed here from Red Wilson Field. Went to the bottom of the first. Here from South Yarmouth, there's no score between Wareham and Whitey on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. No score here in the bottom of the first inning from Red Wilson Field in South Yarmouth. TJ Mathewson and Brian McLaughlin here with you. Let's bring you the Whitey Red Sox starting lineup here tonight. Leading off, the shortstop and the league's leading hitter, Wyatt Young, will stride to the plate and lead it off for Scott Pickler. Noah Campbell, the designated hitter, will bat second. Austin Wells in center field today will bat third. Riley King, the third baseman, will bat fourth. Jack Thomas Wold will bat fifth at first base. The left fielder is Andrew Eister, bats sixth. Tate Samuelson bats seventh at second base. Brad Beasley in right field will bat eighth. And Noah Cardenas will round out the nine and do the catching for John Beller today. First pitch to Young on the way from Brandon Fott. On the mound is high and outside for ball one. Fott, out of D2 Bellarmine in the Great Lakes Valley Conference, is 2-0, has not yet to allow an earned run this season. Second pitch to Young, swinging a line drive into center field for a base hit. So Wyatt Young continues on his torrid pace. As I mentioned, entered today leading the league in hitting at .359. As he singles on the second pitch he sees from Fott. And the leadoff man is on for Whitey. Young is 4 for 4 in stolen bases, and that'll bring up the switch-hitting South Carolina Gamecock Noah Campbell.
5 straight games with a hit as well for Wyatt Young. Just continues to square the ball up.
And that's a rare occurrence here against Fott, who has allowed 2 total hits in the 12 innings he's thrown this season. The right-hander sets out of the stretch first pitch to Campbell. An off-speed pitch catches the inside corner to Noah. It's 0-1. Campbell hitting .370 this season with a pair of home runs and 6 RBIs. He was 1 for 2 with a walk yesterday in the loss versus Chatham. He digs in from the left side. Fott fires and misses outside. 1-1 the count here on Noah. The Red Sox, second in the Cape League in runs at just over 5.2 runs per game. As Fott will throw over to first, it gets away from Teeter down the right field line. It scoots out of play, and Young will take second base. So an E1 will advance Wyatt Young a base, and the Red Sox have a runner in scoring position here with 1 out. No outs, pardon, here in the bottom of the first inning.
Both teams with an error on the pitcher in the first inning of play here. John Beller with the throwing error in his half, and now the throwing error allows Young to move into scoring position.
Young off of second now. Campbell awaits the 1-1. It'll miss inside. The count goes to 2-1 here on Noah. Campbell's done a good job of managing the count here on the Cape League in his second summer with YD. Has walked 8 times and struck out 9. Here's the 2-1 to Campbell. It stays upstairs. A fastball from Fott, and the count is 3-1. Fott, the right-hander, sets again. 3-1 to Campbell. Swing and a weak dribbler up the first base line. Teeter will come get it on first. He'll race to the bag, put his foot on it, and it will be in time to get Campbell. Advancing to third is Wyatt Young on the 3 unassisted, and that will bring up the center fielder from the University of Arizona, Austin Wells. The Cape League leader in home runs has 4. He's been at that mark ever since Wednesday, so about 6 days ago in Harwich when he smacked a 2-run go-ahead home run there at White House Field. He'll dig in from the left side. Facing the righty Fott. Fott fires the first pitch. Off-speed misses away for ball 1. It's 1-0.
It's a productive out for Campbell. He knew with the runner on second base, he would want to try to pull it to the right side, at least to move Young up to third with less than 2 outs.
Fott sets 1-0 to Wells. Fastball dots the outside corner, and the count will go to 1-1. Wells also has a pair of doubles and is second in the league, tied for second in the league with 12 RBIs. 2 players in front of him. Both tied for 15. 1-1 to Wells. Swing and a foul out of play. And the count's going to go to a ball and 2 strikes on Austin Wells. Jamal O'Gwyn, who had 4 RBIs yesterday for Chatham, has 15. Sitting ahead of Wells. And just an unbelievable offensive game for Chatham. Nick Gonzalez of Katuitt also with 15. Here's the 1-2 to Wells. It misses a bit outside. And the count will go to 2-2 on Austin.
Great eye by Wells. And this YD team has had Tim Carey behind the plate a couple times now. So these hitters starting to recognize that strike zone.
The wind is gusting a little bit out towards left field. Here's the 2-2 to Wells. Swing and an excuse me swing down the third base side. It drifts foul. Pick almost made the catch, but he picks it up, lets it drop, picks it up off the ground, and will toss it back towards the dugout.
Kept it in front of him.
That's most important things. Coaches always preach.
Wells, no, that was the 2-strike hack. Knowing that was a strike, just try to get anything to it to stay alive.
Here's the 2-2 to Wells. Swing and a fly ball, drifting foul and out of play down the third base side. And the count will stay at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, the Red Sox were playing a makeup game against Chatham yesterday. All 10 teams are in action tonight. Red Sox, of course, here at Red Wilson hosting Wareham. Bourne is at Katuitt. That one just underway. Bourne leading 1-0 in the top of the second inning. Here's the 2-2 from Fott. Curveball misses outside. The count goes to 3 balls and 2 strikes. Brewster is at Falmouth tonight down at Gulf Fuller Field. Chatham is at Harwich, and Hyannis is at Orleans. Here's the 3-2 to Wells. Strike 3 called on the inside corner. Wells thought it was ball 4. He tossed his bat aside, but is rung up by Tim Carey behind the plate. So he'll have to go retrieve it and go back to the Whitey
Batting
dugout
cleanup,
for
the
strike
third
3.
baseman from the University of Georgia.
So that'll
Number
bring up the
4,
third baseman, Riley King. After getting the day off yesterday, here was a pinch hitter late in that ball game, went 0 for 1. But hitting .310. He's been with the Red Sox for just over a week. He digs in from the right side out of Georgia. First pitch to him. Catches the strike zone, and the count is 0-1 on King. The Red Sox are 5-2 when Riley's in the lineup. Right-handed hitter. Digs in. So 0-1 is smoked out towards shortstop on a couple of hops. The shortstop, Sems, will field. He'll fire over to first base, and that's in time to retire King for out number 1. The Red Sox get a leadoff base hit from Wyatt Young, but leave him stranded over on the base paths. We'll head to the second inning here from Red Wilson Field. No score between Wareham and Whitey on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Top of the second inning here from Red Wilson Field. It's the Red Sox nothing and the Gatemen nothing. Here in the top half of the second frame, it'll be 5, 6, and 7 due up in the Wareham order, starting off with the 25th overall pick in the 2018 MLB draft, Matt McClain, the freshman out of UCLA. He's at third base for Wareham today. Digs in from the right side, first pitch to the California native. Will catch the strike zone, a curveball from Beller, and the count's 0-1. McClain hitting .250 this summer, a double, a triple, and a home run to his name with 7 RBIs. McClain awaits the 0-1. It bounces in the dirt, and the count's 1 ball and 1 strike. I mentioned he was drafted 25th overall, that by the Arizona Diamondbacks in the 2018 draft, but he wanted to go to school and play at UCLA under John Savage. He walked away from a slot value that was approximated at $2.6 million. 1-1. Fastball misses away from Beller, and the count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike. He was one of 2 first-round picks last year to not sign. It was him and then JT Ginn, who's drafted 29th overall to the Dodgers, who had a great freshman season at Mississippi State. 2-1 on the way from Beller. Swing and a fly ball, shallow left field. Actually, it'll stay on the infield for Wyatt Young. He'll camp underneath it and make the catch right from his position at shortstop for out number 1 here in the second inning.
Beller just continues to create soft contact and keep these guys off balance. He's in the strike zone with every pitch. That command is what makes him effective. He's in some type of rhythm out there on the mound right now, TJ. He continued it from his last time out of the pen to this start, and everything he does out there seems to have a purpose.
Great rhythm and great control as well from Beller, who kicks and fires the first pitch to Benjamin Sems, the shortstop out of Kansas. It brushes him back and misses inside for ball 1. Sems hitting .324 this season, a double and 4 RBIs. Beller has only walked 1 batter in the 8 2/3 innings he's thrown this summer. As the 1-0 is ripped out to center field, Austin Wells has a beat on it. He'll go a few steps to his right and make the catch for out number 2 in the second inning. A quick 2 out and 2 down for John Beller, will bring up Dallas Beaver, the designated hitter out of UCF.
The
First
designated
at
hitter
bat of the game.
from the University
Beller
of
gets the
Central
ball right
Florida.
back, strides to the mound, and he's ready to go.
Dallas
He's working
Beaver.
quickly, attacking the strike zone, and his infielders and his outfielders love that as well. They want to see balls in the zone. They want to see their pitchers working with that rhythm. That's why he's one of the most loved guys on the team.
So here's Dallas Beaver, the designated hitter today. From the left side, watches the first pitch miss inside from Beller. It's 1-0. Again, if you're just tuning in, we apologize for the no video feed at home today from Red Wilson Field. The game is being televised on Fox College Sports. You can find that channel in your cable package. 1-0 on the way from Beller out of the windup. Fastball misses up and inside, and the count will go to 2 balls and no strikes. Fox College Sports does broadcast from 7 of the 10 ballparks, I believe, in the Cape this season, as they have a whole package of games they run through July. Here on Cape Cod. 2-0 from Beller. Curveball drops in there right at the knees, and the count's 2-1.
He has more confidence in the curveball than the fastball, honestly. Down in the count 2-0, throws the hook.
He's still behind 2-1. Wyatt Young at shortstop, shade a little bit up the middle for Beaver. 2-1. Misses up and inside, and the count will go to 3 balls and a strike. Here on Dallas Beaver. Hitting .261 this summer with no extra base hits, a pair of RBIs, though. Beller peers over his glove, gets the sign from Cardenas. 3-1 on the way. Fastball is going to miss high for ball 4. So Beaver reaches base, the first walk of the game for
right fielder,
John
St.
Beller, and only
George
second walk
University,
on the season.
Number 16, Mike Antico.
So Mike Antico will come to the plate now, the right fielder out of St. John's.
And it's interesting. Every pitch he missed with in that at-bat was the fastball. Just couldn't dial it in. He was missing arm side, so inside to the lefty Beaver. And it's interesting that that's how the first walk happens, all fastballs that he missed with.
Beller kicks out of the stretch. First pitch to Antico. Cuts over the top of an off-speed pitch. For the first strike, it's 0-1. And with that struggling fastball come in, he goes back to the off-speed and gets a swing and miss.
Keep going with it. They really can't touch that right now. Then when you're up in the count, go heater.
Beller kicks, 0-1. Fastball looks like stays high. It's 1-1. Beller struck out 8 days ago at Bourne. He followed a scoreless 4 frames from Trenton Denholm, who was invited to Team USA to try out for the roster. Didn't make it, though, out of UC Irvine. 1-1 on the way from Beller. Fastball stays upstairs again. It's 2-1. It's going to be interesting to see if Beller goes back to the breaking ball here.
Everything's
Working
up right
well
now.
for him.
Yeah, everything's up right now. Even the last curveball he threw, the first ball of this at-bat, was up. So maybe a little bit of an adjustment he can make there.
Beller sets again right at the chest out of the stretch. 2-1. Swung on and fouled out of play, and the count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. No score here from Red Wilson Field between the Red Sox and the Gatemen. T.J. Mathewson and Brian McLaughlin here with you from a different vantage point than we're used to out here on the deck of the press box of Red Wilson. Beller sets in a 2-2. Off-speed stays upstairs to Antico, and the count will go full 3-2. So Beller cruised through the first 2 batters here in the second inning, a pair of flyouts, but is in danger of walking his second straight batter in Antico. The St. John's product will dig in from the left side. The runner over on first, Sems, will go on the pitch. Beller lets that left arm dangle as he gets the sign from Noah Cardenas behind the plate. He sets, and the 3-2. It's going to miss inside for ball 4. So Beller walks back-to-back batters here in the second inning on a close pitch on the inside corner. So Beller, after walking 1 in his first 8 2/3 innings this season, has walked back-to-back batters here in the second inning. And that'll bring up Matthew Rudick, the left fielder out of San Diego State.
Austin Wells out in center field just held his arms out to his side after that pitch near the inner edge was called a ball. He thinks it looks similar to the pitch he was rung up on last half inning, but back-to-back walks from Beller.
So here's Rudick. First pitch from Beller out of the stretch. Stays upstairs for ball 1. That one didn't miss by much either.
We haven't seen the command issues before from Beller, struggling to dial it in here in the second, kind of out of nowhere.
So now 2 runners on for the Gatemen. Beaver on at second, Antico at first. 1-0 from Beller. Swinging a high fly ball to right field. This is going to chase Beasley back. He's going back near the fence, backtracking a little bit, and he's there right in front of the wall to make the catch for out number 3. So a long fly ball off the bat of Matthew Rudick dies right in front of the fence in right field and gets John Beller out of the inning here in the second. What's the bottom of the second here from Red Wilson Field? It's no score between the Gatemen and the Red Sox here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Back at Red Wilson Field for the bottom of the second inning. No score between Wareham and YD. Here in South Yarmouth, TJ Mathewson and Brian McLaughlin here with you. It's going to be 5, 6, and 7 coming up for the Red Sox in the bottom half of the second inning. Leading off with the first baseman, it's Jack Thomas Wold. Hitting .311 on the summer. It's tied for 8th in the Cape League. Swinging at the first pitch, he fouls it up the third base side. It's 0-1. Wold, 2 doubles, 1 home run. That only long ball came on opening day in his second at-bat with Whitey. He hit it at Lowell Park in Katuitt. He awaits the 0-1 from Fott. It's swung on and tapped right back to the pitcher. He'll field, and Fott throws down to first, and it's in time, a step in front of Jack Thomas Wold for out number 1 here in the second inning. So nice play off the mound from Fott, showing the work those PFPs pay off in practice. So 1 down, and that'll bring up the left fielder, Andrew Eister,
South Carolina.
out of South
Number
Carolina.
11, Andrew Eister.
Eister hitting .325 this summer with 2 doubles and 3 home runs, which is second in the Cape League and on this Red Sox team. First pitch to Eister. Watches the first pitch stay upstairs. For ball 1, it's 1-0. Eister yesterday was 0 for 2. And the drubbing of the Anglers over the Red Sox at 309 this season at South Carolina. 1-0 is cut on and missed. And it'll even up the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Went 0 for the past week after getting a hit yesterday. Or hit on Sunday, against the Brewster Whitecaps. 1-1. Swinging a chopper right at home plate, and it will tick foul back to the backstop, and the count will go to a ball and 2 strikes. But Eister, going into yesterday, he got his hit Sunday against the Brewster Whitecaps, a 2-run single in the 7th inning. Actually, in the 7th inning of that game on Sunday, as he awaits the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Eister chases at the top of the strike zone as he's set down swinging here for the second out in the second inning. Second strikeout.
The second baseman
for Brandon Fott on the mound for the Gatemen. That'll bring up Tate Samuelson. But as I was mentioning with Eister, previously to that 2-run single he had against the Whitecaps on Sunday, he was in an 0 for 14 slump. Good for him to break out of that. First pitch from Fott slips out of his hand. A curveball will just go straight to the backstop as it buzzes above the head of Samuelson. And the count will go to 1-0. Samuelson hitting .280 with a pair of doubles and 3 RBIs out of Cal Poly. Fott kicks to 1-0, caught in a miss from Samuelson, and the count evens at a ball and a strike. Good crowd here from Red Wilson Field. on a sunny Tuesday here in South Yarmouth. 1-1. Swing and a miss. A confused swing there from Samuelson. Half-hearted, and the count will go to a ball and 2 strikes. A former All-Big West honorable mention as a freshman. Just finished up his sophomore season, though, at Cal Poly. 1-2 is cut on and miss for strike 3. Gets away from the catcher, Del Castillo. He'll go to the inside part of the first base bag and first base line in foul territory and fire down to first to retire Samuelson here to end the second inning. Third strikeout of the ball game for Brandon Fott. Gets him out of the second inning. We'll head to the third here from Red Wilson Field. No score between the Gatemen and the Red Sox on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Top of the third inning back at Red Wilson Field. Brian McLaughlin and TJ Mathewson. It's scoreless between the YD Red Sox and the Wareham Gatemen. Ward, Baker, and Teeter due up for the Gatemen as we begin the top of the third against John Beller. Beller has allowed 3 men to reach so far, once on an error of his own doing and a couple of walks last inning, but yet to allow a hit through 2. The lefty from USC will work from the windup against the left-handed hitting Ward at the plate. First pitch breaking ball way upstairs, ball 1. Ward struck out swinging to begin the ball game. He's hitting .306, a Washington Husky. The 1-0 pitch. Hit in the air, left side of the infield. Going back, Riley King, the third baseman. Now Wyatt Young, the shortstop, over. He wants it, and he makes the catch. First out of the third inning, and Young encroaches into King's territory for the first out of the frame.
Young has been really solid out on shortstop, out at shortstop this summer. With his size standing at just 5'7",
number 11,
you do have some concerns with the arm strength, but he's got a really good arm out there at shortstop. Makes very solid throws over to first base and has some great range out there at shortstop. He shows it off there and makes the routine catch for the first out.
Another lefty at the plate for Wareham. It's Darren Baker. First pitch from Beller. Sends him spinning out of the way. It misses inside for ball 1. Baker, the second baseman from Cal Berkeley, has had a great start to the season for Wareham. Another one hitting above 300. Like you mentioned, TJ, the top 4 men all above 300 for the Gatemen. The 1-0, a breaking ball is a called strike on the outer edge. 1-1 now to Baker. Baker, a couple of doubles and a triple to go along with the great average. And of Cal Berkeley, the 1-1. Swing and a miss on the fastball. It was on the inner part of the plate, and Baker took a big cut. Now down on the count 1-2. Scoreless in the top of the third between the Red Sox and Gatemen. John Beller peers over his glove on the mound. A ball and 2 strikes to Baker. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball called, strike 3. Second strikeout of the day for Beller, and he sits Baker down for the second out here in the third.
There's that hook we're used to. Just drops it right on the inside corner to Darren Baker, and it just freezes him for his second strikeout and the second out here in the third inning.
Now Jacob Teeter from Florida Southern. He flew out to Andrew Eister in left. back in the first. The first pitch to Teeter. Breaking ball that dives down and away to the lefty, 1-0. Teeter hitting .345, 6'6", 230, the first baseman for the Gatemen. Does have one home run this season. Here's the 1-0. Off speed, just misses low, 2 balls, no strikes. Wind might be a slight factor today. Wisps of clouds up over our heads in the bright blue sky. It's slightly pushing out, maybe from left to right a hair as well. Here's the 2-0 from Beller. Teeter fouls it off back over our heads behind home plate, out of play, 2-1. 0-0, YD and Wareham. Top of the third inning. Teeter from a crouch in the lefty batter's box. The 2-1 from Beller. Breaking ball misses high and tight and sends another Gateman spinning out of the way. Teeter ends up staring at his own dugout up the first baseline. 3 balls and a strike now. Beller to Teeter. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Fastball drilled in the air to center field. Austin Wells going back on it. He's near the fence. He leaps at the wall. It's a home run. A line drive gets out of the yard. Jacob Teeter clears the wall in center. A solo shot puts Wareham up 1-0 here in the third. An absolute laser that got out of here.
Yeah, a frozen rope off the bat of Teeter. It sounded like a cannon off of his
The
bat.
catcher from
And only
Miami
352 to center
University,
field here at
number
Red
7,
Wilson. So Wells
Adrian
can only
Del
go back a few
Castillo.
steps. He leapt at the wall, but that ball just stayed up and went off the base of one of the trees out there in center field. I wouldn't be shocked if it left a chip in the bark or something. It was hit so hard.
Now the catcher, Adrian Del Castillo. First pitch cut on and missed. It was a breaking ball. 0-1 now to Del Castillo. 1-0 Wareham. Top of the third inning. It's the top team in the West, the Gatemen, against the number 2 team in the East. Whitey and Chatham tied at 19 points. The 0-1 grounded down the first base line. That's a fair ball. Past the diving Wold into right field. Beasley up for it. Del Castillo churning for second. Here's the throw. Not in time. Wyatt Young couldn't field the throw cleanly. Del Castillo beats it with a feet first slide into second base. Back-to-back extra base knocks from the 3-4 men in the Wareham order. And now Del Castillo's on second for Matt McLean.
Then for the second straight inning,
UCLA,
John Beller's gotten
number
2
10,
quick outs
Matt
on weak contact,
McLean.
and it was all the next 2 men to reach. And on that play there, Brad Beasley, a strong throw out in right field. I think if the ball doesn't hit Del Castillo as he's turning into second base, he's got a chance to be tagged out there by Wyatt Young.
Now Matt McLean, right-handed hitting third baseman from UCLA, with the man in scoring position. First pitch from Beller. Breaking ball misses upstairs, 1-0. Like you mentioned, TJ, McLean, the first-round draft pick of the Arizona Diamondbacks last season, chose not to sign with the D-backs. Instead, ends up at UCLA. Hitting .250 for the Gatemen. Struggled a bit in his freshman season with the Bruins, just barely above the Mendoza line at 201. The 1-0. Fastball nabs the outer edge. Strike one taken by McLean. 1-1. 1-0 Gatemen. They are threatening for more in the top of the third. Jacob Teeter, the solo shot to straightaway center field. And then Adrian Del Castillo now on second with the double. The 1-1. Fouled back by McLean. The ball and 2 strikes. First couple hits of the game allowed by Beller here in this frame. Also breaks the 7-inning scoreless streak for Beller on the hill. From the stretch, he sets right at the chest. A ball and 2 strikes. The pitch. Fastball misses away. 2-2.
And not all is lost to the Diamondbacks with him not signed. They got a compensation pick at number 26 this season. Selected Blake Walston, a pitcher out of New Hanover High School in North Carolina.
McLean just 5'9", 175 in the righty batter's box. Not a big man. Beller brings the 2-2. Skied back behind home plate and out of play. That's going to end up in the parking lot. concrete, not a car back there.
It's good. Always dangerous parking in the first couple of rows here at Red Wilson Field. I credit all the people that park right in front of the fence before the field gets here. Prime territory to get hit by a foul ball.
If you're a gambling man, that's the place for you. 2-2, 2 outs. The pitch to McLean. Sharply hit right side. The second baseman, Samuelson. Fields throws to first to get McLean. Beller surrenders 1 run on a solo shot to center in the third off the bat of Jacob Teeter, but he strands Del Castillo at second. It's 1-0 Wareham from 2.5. This is the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Now batting,
Bottom of the third, we're back at Red
Cal
Wilson
Poly,
Field in
San
South
Luis
Yarmouth.
Obispo.
It's Beasley,
Number
Cardenas,
5,
and Young.
Brad
Due up
Beasley.
against Brandon Fott, still on the mound for the Wareham Gatemen. Wareham leads it 1-0 in the bottom of the third. The righty Fott works from the windup. First pitch to Beasley, bounced foul up the third baseline. It's 0-1. That lone run for the Gatemen coming in the top of the third on a solo shot from their first baseman, Jacob Teeter, his second home run of the season. Fott, the tall righty, winds, and the 0-1 pitch. This is upstairs to Beasley, a ball and a strike. Beasley has struggled since arriving in Yarmouth. 4 for 27 thus far. The 1-1. Breaking ball misses inside. 2 balls and a strike. It's a 148 batting average for Beasley. He's battled with a little bit of an injury as well. He's slightly banged up, but back in the lineup today. The 2-1. Hit in the air, shallow right field. Incoming the right fielder, Antico. He makes the call, dancing towards the line, and the lefty makes the catch for the first out here in the bottom of the third.
Well, a little bit tricky.
Catcher
The
from
sun
UCLA,
shines
number
from
8,
the third base,
Noah
behind the third base
Cardenas.
side. So right fielders got to be wary of the sun there and got to cover their eyes and make sure they can see the baseball and make the catch. And right there, Antico looked like he was fighting the sun a little bit as he was waiting for that ball to come down and make the catch.
Now Noah Cardenas, the catcher from UCLA. First pitch from Fat, called strike, a breaking ball on the inner half. Cardenas teammates with third baseman for the Gatemen, Matt McLean. Both freshmen this past year for the UCLA Bruins. The 0-1. Grounded foul up the third baseline. 0-2 now to Cardenas. He led the Bruins in hitting. 375 in 40 starts, so didn't play every game for UCLA. 58 games played. 0-2 now to Cardenas, hitting in the 9 spot today for YD. Here's the 0-2. Fastball, checked his swing, appeal to first. He did go around. Cardenas goes down swinging, 4th strikeout of the day for Fott on the mound.
The shortstop
That brings up Wyatt Young.
Pepperdine
Young has the
University.
only hit today for YD.
Wyatt
He
Young.
smoked just the second pitch of the game from Fott back up the middle, but otherwise Fott has been perfect on the mound, retiring the next 8 men. 1-0 Gatemen here in the bottom of the third. First pitch to Young. Squares to bunt, drops it down the first base line. Fott over to field, sidearms a throw to first in time. A great play by Brandon Fott to get the speedy Wyatt Young for the third out in the third. 1-0. Wareham still leads. YD goes in order. This is the
Yarmouth
Cape
Finished
Cod
Red
Baseball
Sox
League Network.
would like to Leading up the
Top
fourth
of the
inning,
fourth inning, it's 1-0
Dear
Wareham.
shortstop,
Sems,
from the
Beaver, and
University
Tico
of
all
Kansas,
due up against
number
Beller for the
12,
Wareham Gateman.
Benjamin
Sems flew out to center field, and Austin Wells in his only at-bat against Beller today. Sems hitting .324 out of Kansas. Jayhawk hits from the left side. Beller winds and deals. Grounder, right side, rolled over to his left, stopped by Samuelson, but he can't field it cleanly. It trickles into the outfield grass, and that's a leadoff single for Benjamin Sems to begin the top of the fourth. Wold ranged far to his right. Samuelson deep to his left in that 3-4 hole on the right side, but neither could track it down. And it's a seeing eye single.
Number 35, Dallas.
Tough play from Samuelson. We're used to seeing him at first base this summer. He's moved over to second base today. And going to his right or his left part and having to make that play on a slide just couldn't quite get there. And leadoff base runner here for Wareham.
So now Dallas Beaver, the UCF Knight. And TJ, are you aware of the UCF Mafia? Have you heard that term before?
I don't know.
First pitch cut on and missed by Beaver. Strike one, 0-1.
Heard of Bill's Mafia, of course. Who hasn't?
So UCF Mafia is their social media following. And they have a massive social media following. Their marketing department does a great job. And I learned about this last summer. Dallas Beaver was the catcher and first baseman for the Lakeshore Chinooks of the Northwoods League. Check on first by Beller, back safely Sems. And so my broadcast partner and I last summer were bored on a long bus ride and decided, how are we going to spice this up? So we created an all Northwoods League name competition.
Oh, man.
And went through every roster in the Northwoods League and selected what we considered the best names. Another check on first. Back standing again is Sems. So Dallas Beaver, pretty solid name from the Lakeshore Chinooks. It's a good name. He was one of the early favorites. We didn't qualify him as the favorite, but he was on our radar. So what we did then, we went to Twitter, took turns posting polls, created a big bracket, and throughout the next few weeks on our bus rides, conducted these polls. The 0-1 misses from Beller outside, a ball and a strike. And Dallas Beaver sneaks through the first couple rounds. He's doing well, just kind of sliding by. And then we get to about the quarterfinals. There's about 8 teams left. And all of a sudden, UCF Baseball, UCF Athletics starts retweeting all of our tweets about Dallas Beaver. He chops the 1-1 foul up the first base line. Now it's 1-2 to Beaver. And we're like, what is this? And some of the other teams had done this occasionally for the guys, but nothing quite like this. And they were quote tweeting with hashtag UCF Mafia, UCF Mafia. And we did some research and found out UCF has such a large group of following on social media, in big parts to the football program.
The national champions.
Their baseball program is pretty solid as well. The 1-2. Beaver drills it in the air, deep left center field. Wells trotting over into left center gap, and he makes the catch. So Dallas Beavers retired for the first out here in the fourth. Still 1-0 Wareham. So eventually, as we're going through this, we've done this research, we realize Beaver's starting to pull away with this thing. It's the semifinals. He's dominating. Thanks to the UCF Mafia. They're hammering our Twitter polls.
What percentages are we talking?
We're talking like every other round was close. 60-40, the preliminaries. We're talking 80-20 come the semifinals. He is dominating other really good names. So he ends up winning our Northwoods Player Name of the Year. First pitch, a called strike to Mike Antico, 0-1. And so that's how we were introduced to the UCF Mafia. And it is scary. We got more love on those tweets when Dallas Beaver was involved than any other tweet from last summer.
That's unbelievable.
It was an interesting ride. Antico skies the 0-1, shallow left center. Wyatt Young, the shortstop, backpedaling out into the grass. He's there about 20 feet into the left center gap, and he makes the squeeze. Quick 2 outs now with the man on first from John Beller. 2 down in the top of the fourth.
Left fielder from San Diego State University.
And so they're known for
rooting.
They don't jump off. They don't jump off of RVs into tables, do they?
No, not quite like the Bills Mafia.
Ugh.
They're known for the national championship claim, but they've used that to completely build this mafia truly on social media because a lot of their alumni we've found are really young people. They've started to let in a lot of people, and they have a really young alumni base. So really social media savvy, and that's why they can create this mafia. First pitch called strike to Matt Rudick, the 9-man from San Diego State, here for the Gateman. 0-1 count now to Rudick. He flew out to Brad Beasley in right field in the fourth. Back in the second, rather. Beller with the 0-1. Breaking ball slash left field line. It's foul towards the bullpen of the Red Sox. 0-2. Dallas Beaver also was a quality player last summer for the Chinooks, a Northwoods League All-Star. Of course, now back with the Cape Cod League in the Wareham Gatemen. Quality hitter in the designated hitter spot tonight. The 0-2. Hit in the air, left side of the infield by Rudick. Riley King dancing around the third base bag, now onto the infield grass, and he makes the catch. A leadoff single for the Gatemen in the fourth, but that is all. They have three straight retired via the pop out from Beller. 1-0 Gatemen through 3.5. You're listening to YD Red Sox Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Back here at Red Wilson Field, we're in the bottom of the fourth. It's 1-0. Wareham Gatemen over the YD Red Sox. Brian McLaughlin joined this half inning by my dear friend and the baseball scout liaison, Alex Chapman, for this half inning. Alex, glad you could join us for this half inning of the broadcast. How you doing today?
Oh, thanks, Brian. It's an absolute pleasure to be here. It's a great day for baseball, and get to see what you guys do every day. It's going to be awesome. Let's play some baseball.
That's right. Noah Campbell steps into the box to begin this bottom of the fourth inning. Campbell 0 for 1 today. Wells and King also due up in the frame. Still waiting to get the first pitch going. The reason Alex is on here with me, we're on Fox College Sports right now. TJ joining that broadcast for the half inning. So we thought, why not bring on one of the fellow interns for the frame? Andre is off petting a husky dog somewhere that he saw, had to go meet the dog. So Alex jumped on for the frame. Brandon Fatt ready to go on the mound. Here's the first pitch of the inning to Campbell. First pitch fastball, a called strike on the inner half, 0-1. Now, Alex, your primary job here is working with the scouts of the Cape League and of all these major league teams. Fatt with the 0-1 to Campbell. Misses low. No ball, rather one ball and a strike now to the South Carolina man. How would you say the experience has been so far for you, your first time on the Cape?
It's been great. I can't say enough about this organization, the league.
Swing and a miss by Campbell on the 0-1. Now it's a ball and 2 strikes.
I left Arizona, 110-degree weather to come here. It's been phenomenal. Can't beat it.
You're in the shade right now. We make fun of you for always forgetting to bring a jacket. Sun drops here at night on the Cape. Still gets kind of chilly. 1-2 to Campbell. Bounced up the first baseline. Foul ball. A ball and 2 strikes to Campbell. So we make fun of you for that, but you've adjusted to the more northern climate.
I have. I've become accustomed to bringing 1, if not 2 layers in my backpack to each stadium we go to.
All about making adjustments in baseball.
Absolutely.
Fatt winds. Now the 1-2 to Campbell. Lifted in the air, left field. Matt Rudick, the left fielder, backpedaling a bit. Now into the left center gap, about 2 steps, and he makes the catch for the first out here, the 4th. Now, you're working with the scouts a lot. Who are some players that have really stood out to you so far this season? And you think maybe some of the scouts have really been impressed with as well?
Of course. I know we talk about Austin Wells a lot. Of hear his name on the broadcast as he steps to the plate here. We've got guys like Wyatt Young who are on temporary contracts who are here with us still.
First pitch to Wells off the end of the bat down the right field line. Antico racing over towards the line. He dives. He won't get there. Takes a soft bounce over his head. He scoops it up, and Wells is going to cruise into second with a double. Second hit of the day for YD, and Austin Wells is in scoring position with 1 down in the bottom of the 4th. Not exactly the most well-hit ball from Austin Wells, but there he is, continuing to produce.
Number 4.
one of the things he does the best. Just does what he can with each pitch. That pitch is inside by his feet. He just gets around on it. Little looper over the first base bag, and here he stands at second in scoring position.
1-0 Wareham, bottom of the 4th inning. Riley King, the cleanup man at the plate. He bounced out to the shortstop Benjamin Sems with the man on third base in the 1st inning. Now with Wells on second and 1 down. First pitch to King. Fastball just above the letters. Misses upstairs, ball 1. Riley King, another man who's come in and impressed for the Red Sox, hitting .310 on the season. Fought with the 1-0. A breaking ball, a called strike, knee high. 1-1. You've also been able to contribute to the broadcast a couple of times. In other ways, you already texted me tonight how fast the pitchers are sitting. Get that info from the scouts. We don't have a gigantic radar gun here at Red Wilson Field. The 1-1. King lines it back up the middle. That's going to fall in center field for a hit. Ward scoops it up. Wells being held up at third. Throw comes in. Gets all the way to the catcher, Del Castillo. King stays at first with a single. Late stop sign thrown up by Scott Pickler down the third baseline. But YD has runners on the corners with 1 down after back-to-back hits from Wells and King.
Las Vegas, number 19, Jack Thomas Wold.
But we know Fott has had a great start to the year on the mound for Wareham. 12 innings pitched coming in without allowing a run. 3 today, so he's at 15+ before allowing a run. But here's YD threatening now in the bottom of the 4th. Jack Wold at the plate. He bounced out back to the pitcher, Fott, in his only other time to the plate today. First pitch misses high and away, ball 1. Runners on the corners with 1 down. We know Pick likes to put all sorts of action on the base paths, bunts, small ball, hit and runs. Think anything's on here?
I don't know. With Jack Thomas Wold at the plate, I think he's going to swing away here.
1-0. Sharply hit left side. A 1-hopper to the shortstop, Sems. Flip to Baker at second. He doesn't make the squeeze. Wells is going to score. Everybody's safe. E4, Darren Baker tried to make the quick turn and get Jack Wold racing down the first baseline. Wold moves pretty well for a big man, but I think a tailor-made double play ball. Baker had more time than he thought.
The University of South Carolina, number 11, Andrew Eister.
Handle it there at second.
So a fielder's choice, E4. YD evens things at 1 here in the 4th. Austin Wells led off the frame, rather with 1 out. Got a double to right field. Riley King now on second. Jack Wold at first for Andrew Eister. Eister struck out swinging against Fott. First pitch to Eister, high and tight, and it skips past Del Castillo all the way to the screen near the Red Sox dugout. And now YD, after a couple of miscues from Wareham here in the 4th, have runners on second and third with 1 down. We'll see if they call that a passed ball or a wild pitch on Del Castillo eventually here. 1-0 count to Eister. He came into today 1 at-bat shy of qualifying for the batting title. The 1-0. Another one misses high and tight to Eister, this time corralled by Del Castillo. It's 2-0, and we're going to have a quick visit from the Wareham coaching staff. They have a lefty up in their pen. Fott has primarily come out of the bullpen this year for the Gatemen.
Getting
his first start of the season. Now he's facing Eister, a 2-0 count. He's going to stay in the game as Jerry Weinstein returns to the dugout for the Gatemen to face Eister. 2-0 here for one of the biggest hitters in the Whitey order. Definitely got to be careful out there on the mound. Eister, 3 home runs on the season. He's 1 at-bat plate appearance shy of qualifying for the batting title. He would be in the top 5 of the league if he were to qualify. The 2-0. Breaking ball, a called strike down the middle to Eister, 2-1. This is a guy maybe not on a ton of scouts' radar here, Alex, that had a good year at South Carolina, but he comes in and has opened some eyes for the Red Sox.
Oh, absolutely.
The 2-1. Another breaking ball, softly hit left side, charging the shortstop, Sems. He'll come to the plate. King is cut down there, and now they're going to get Wold going to third. The throw there, Jack Wold is out. A 6-2-5 double play from the Gatemen. Sems cut down King, trying to score on the soft grounder to short, and then Wolds tried to advance from second to third, and he's thrown out from Del Castillo to McLean. The Red Sox
knows
run
grilling and
themselves out of the
snacking
fourth
like
inning,
beets
but
and
they're able
Watson.
to get one run
They've got
across.
100%
We're even at
all
1
beef
through
franks
4 here
and all the
at Red
grilling
Wilson Field.
essentials
This
you
is the Cape
need
Cod Baseball
to
League
knock
Network.
your summer leading off the fifth.
Top of the fifth
The
inning here
center
from
fielder
Red
from the
Wilson
University
Field. It's
of
all tied up at 1
Washington.
between the Gatemen
Brayton,
and the Red Sox here in
Ward.
South Yarmouth. TJ Mathewson and Brian McLaughlin here with you. It's going to be the top of the Gatemen order in Braden Ward, Darren Baker, and Jacob Teeter to come to the plate and face John Beller out for his fifth inning. He's allowed just a run on 3 hits so far against this Wareham lineup, which is near top in the league in runs and average. Ward will show bunt, push it up the first base side. It's hugging the line, but he'll scoot foul, and the count's 0-1. Thank Brian for holding down the fort here out on the deck in the bottom half of the fourth inning.
And Alex Chapman.
And Alex Chapman, too. Shout out to Alex Chapman making his way on the broadcast.
We're going to have to get the whole intern squad on at some point.
Oh, they'll make it on. There's room for everyone.
Of course.
So Ward's behind 0-1 as he fouled that first bunt. 1-0 is swung on and rocketed right at Brad Beasley in right field. Doesn't have to move a step. So he'll make the catch for out number 1 on Braden Ward. He got a good piece of that one, but will fly out to right to begin this fifth inning.
Third time through the order now for Wareham. We'll see how John Beller tries to adapt. He's used pretty much all of his arsenal at this point, but at this point he also knows that he can go to the curveball more often and maybe vary up his pitching sequence is how he can keep these guys off balance.
Here's Darren Baker. First pitch swinging. He lifts that shallow left center field. In comes Eister, and he watches it drop in front of him. Baker got that one off the end of the bat and floated it into the gap in left center field where no one was. Eister had to come well in from his spot in left center to make the catch there. So now Jacob Teeter, the first baseman, will step to the plate with a runner on and 1 out here in the fifth inning. Teeter responsible for the only Gateman run here today as he smacked a solo home run in the third inning. He bats from the left side. Pinwheels the bat once as he steps into the box, a slightly open stance from the left side. First pitch from Beller. Off speed on the outside corner for a strike. It's 0-1. Teeter hitting .345 entering play today and doubled his home run total with his home run back in the third inning. Baker off of first. He's 2 for 3 on stolen bags this summer. Here's the 0-1. He bluffs a steal. Cardenas will pump a throw back to first as the pitch will miss outside, and the count's 1-1.
Might have even been a pitch out there from the Red Sox. That one, Cardenas was set up in the zone, and then he hopped outside. I think that was planned from YD. Beller was already up in the count, so go ahead and use one there to see if you can catch Baker dancing off first.
Beller's at 61 pitches. Here's the 62nd instead of a throw over to first. Pardon, his 63rd pitch. as he throws over to first. Baker back in plenty of time. None of these throws from Beller to first base have been remotely close.
Definitely haven't seen that A move from Beller.
The lefty will come set again. And kick and fire the 1-1. Curveball brushes Teeter back, and the count will go to 2 balls and 1 strike. Red Sox and Gaiman here at Red Wilson Field. Tuesday, as the pitch is bounced in the dirt, Cardenas blocks and Baker will swipe second base. A stolen base for Darren Baker. His third on the summer. He's now 3 for 4. As he picked the right pitch to go on an off-speed pitch from John Beller as he swipes second and puts himself in scoring position. So Teeter will step back in. 3-1 the count on him. Here's the pitch. Curveball on the outside corner, and the count will go full 3 balls and 2 strikes. Defense playing straight up behind Teeter, or behind Beller, pardon. Baker will lead off of second. Beller peeks back that way, fires the 3-2, swinging a chopper right side. Jack Thomas rolled off his position at first. Fields will throw to Beller covering the bag, and it's in time to retire Teeter. Moving over to third base is Darren Baker.
The catcher
as he'll reach
Miami
on the fielder's
University,
choice.
Adrian Del Castillo.
And now the Miami product, Adrian Del Castillo, will step to the plate with an RBI opportunity with 2 outs. He doubled back in the third inning to follow up Teeter's home run in that frame. Go bat from the left side wearing number 7. The Gatemen are wearing their Navy road uniforms with gray pants. Beller fires the first pitch. Off-speed misses inside for ball 1. It's 1-0. Red Sox wearing home whites, but an alternate combination of blue on the sides, some red lining on those, and the Red Sox logo patched over the players' hearts. So 1-0 the count here on Del Castillo. He's hitting .306 entering today. 1-0 pitch. It misses outside. Throw down to third base by a back pick by Cardenas. Not in time to get Baker diving in. It was a close play. Riley King covered the bag in plenty of time, but the strong throw by the good defender behind the plate, Cardenas, just not in time.
And the throw is maybe just a hair offline, probably 2 or 3 feet inside the line towards second base, and that caused King to have to reach over, catch it before laying the tag.
2-0. Swing and a foul out of play, and the count will go to 2 balls and 1 strike.
We've seen YD execute that with 2 different men. Wells and Riley Terada picked off somebody back here at Red Wilson as well at third base. So it's a play that they think that they can really get people on over there.
That would have been a big third out here in the top of the 5th inning. Beller will set again. He's behind 2-1. The lefty kicks and fires. 2-1 is cut on and missed. A nice off-speed pitch. Might have been the changeup there from Beller, and the count will go to 2 balls and 2 strikes here with 2 outs. Beller's been great with his off-speed pitches here on Cape Cod. The sophomore out of USC. He gets his sign, come set, 2-2. Fastball is fouled, dribbled up the third base side, right in front of the Red Sox dugout. Drew Swift trying to snag it out of the Red Sox dugout, but couldn't quite get there. Newly minted Whitey arm Drew Swift as well. Struck out 3 in the 7th inning against Chatham yesterday in the blowout loss. Here's the 2-2. Swinging a rocket down the right field line, but it's hooking and it will get foul. A perfect pitch for Del Castillo to hit right there, down and into the left-handed hitter. Perfectly grooved for that lefty swing. He drops the barrel on it, but just hooks it foul. So Beller's going to get another shot here. Wyatt Young is going to shade up the middle. Austin Wells is shaded over in right center field. Shading for the left-hander to pull. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs to Del Castillo. Beller will set again and fire the 2-2. Fastball is going to miss high up above the eyes, and it goes to 3 balls and 2 strikes. Trying to change the eye level of Del Castillo there, but couldn't get the Miami product to chase. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the 5th inning. Beller trying to strand the runner, Baker on at third. 3-2. Curveball, strike 3 called on the inside corner. Beller with a hop off the mound and a clap into his glove as he strikes out Del Castillo to end this 5th inning here at Red Wilson Field. One to the bottom of the 5th inning here from South Yarmouth. It's 1-1 between the Gatemen and the Red Sox here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. So Brendan Fott's afternoon/evening is done here at Red Wilson Field after 4 innings. He gives way to Levi Prater, the Oklahoma senior, the Oklahoma Sooner parter, the left-hander. 6 foot, 174 pounds, will face the bottom third of the Red Sox order. Fott went 4 innings, 3 hits, a run. It was unearned. No walks and 3 strikeouts. And give way to the lefty. First pitch off speed to Tate Samuelson. The right-hander cuts and misses at that one for strike, and it's 0-1. Prater this season at Oklahoma as Samuelson ropes the 0-1 out to left field, but Rudick right there in his tracks. He'll make the catch for the first out of this 5th inning.
Really well hit by Samuelson. He's starting to figure it out at the plate, I think. He didn't look great in his first at-bat against Fott, but that time he got a hanging curveball over the middle, and he just turned on it. Too bad it was just right at the left fielder.
So here is Brad Beasley. The right fielder today for Scott Pickler is 0 for 1. The first pitch will miss down low and inside for ball 1. So Prater this season at Oklahoma in the spring. One of the regular starters for the Sooners as the 1-0 is scorched out to deep center field. It's going to back up Braden Ward, but he has it in his tracks, and he'll track it down for the second out of this 5th inning. But Prater in 16 games, 14 of them starts, a 7-4 record, a 3.26 ERA in 80 innings.
Noah Cardenas.
He walked 43. He struck out 97 and allowed hitters to hit 211F off of him. So actually a change for the Gatemen in the outfield. Antico is now in right field as the first pitch will miss inside to Noah Cardenas, the catcher, and it's ball 1. Prater working at a quick pace, the 1-0. Stays upstairs, and the count will go to 2 balls and no strikes. So Mike Antico, who starts the game in right field, moves to left, and Matthew Rudick, who started the game in left, will now move to right field. Prater kicks 2-0, swinging a foul straight back into the fence.
I would have had
that. Looked like it was going to head right over our heads and head into the parking lot.
I had that.
Ryan was ready.
I was ready. I was going up with the bare hands. we don't get that chance back in the other booth as often. Out here on the deck, I feel like definitely foul ball possibility.
I'm not going to lie, I flinched there as the pitch will miss for a ball. It's 3 balls and a strike on Cardenas. I have my glove. It's sitting back in my room in Hyannis. Might have to start bringing that to the ballpark. Sounds like a smart idea. Here's the 3-1 from Prater. It's going to miss inside for ball 4. So Cardenas will reach base with 2 outs. His first walk of this Cape League season. It's going to bring up the leadoff hitter, Wyatt Young. 1 for 2 today. He singled to lead off the ball game back in the first inning, or lead off the home half of the first for the Red Sox. He'll bat from the left side, the league's leading hitter. Hitting over 360 now at that base hit in the first inning. Prater kicks out of the stretch, first pitch. It'll miss outside to Young. And the count's 1-0. Wyatt, a freshman at Pepperdine. And a native of Honolulu, Hawaii. Standing at 5'7" in the left-handed batter's box. Prater's going to set and fire the 1-0. Fastball buzzes Young back, but it still catches the inside corner, and the count will go to 1 ball and 1 strike. Hit .315 his freshman season at Pepperdine, and is handling the wood bat well up here on Cape Cod. 1-1. Off speed, misses down and in the dirt. Kel Castillo blocks it to his left, keeps it in front of him, and Cardenas will stay put over at first base. Red Sox and Gateman all knotted up at 1. The Red Sox half a game better than the Gateman record-wise. The Red Sox 9-6-1, the Gateman 9-7-1, but both the same amount of points. The Gateman have played 1 less game. 2-1 on the way to Young. Swing the dribbler out towards second base. Darren Baker will field on a couple hops, throw over to first base, and Young is retired for out number 3 here in the 5th inning. So the Red Sox strand the base runner, the 2-out walk from Noah Cardenas over at first base. And on to the 6th here from Red Wilson. It's Whitey 1 and Wareham 1 here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Number 40, Cullen Kafka.
A new pitcher on the mound for the Red Sox. It'll be Cullen Kafka out of the University of Oregon. Here in the top half of the 6th inning, he relieves Beller after 5 innings. The reigning Cape League pitcher of the week went 5 innings, allowed 4 hits, a run. It was earned. The solo home run to Jacob Teeter back in the 3rd inning. He walked 2 and struck out 3. But now he'll give way to the sophomore out of Oregon in Kafka, who's appeared in 1 game so far this season for the Red Sox. Back on June 28 against Falmouth in a 4-3 win for YD. He went 2 1/3 innings, allowed an unearned run and 1 hit. He walked 3 and struck out 2. 6'4", 212 pounds. A native of Walnut Creek, California, will get ready to face his Pac-12 counterpart, Matt McClain. The freshman out of UCLA today is 0 for 2. Former first-round pick of the Arizona Diamondbacks. He'll bat from the right side, facing the tall right-hander and Kafka. First pitch, curveball, catches the strike zone, and the count's 0-1. So Beller, the control wasn't all there today with the 2 walks and threw a lot of balls today, but was able to work around it for just 1 run allowed. 0-1. Misses a fastball, a bit low, a check swing. They appeal down to first, but looks like McLean didn't go around, and the count is even at 1-1. Kafka, a late addition to this Red Sox roster, getting here a couple weeks late. Appearing in his second game in a Red Sox uniform. He'll fire the 1-1. Curveball bounces in the dirt. Cardenas tries to backhand, and it gets past him to the backstop, and the count will go to 2-1. Sun's dipping down a little. Still lots of sunlight here in South Yarmouth. 79 degrees and partially cloudy. Couldn't ask for a better day on a Tuesday night. 2-1 from Kafka. Swinging a dribbler out towards Wyatt Young at short. He'll field on the run, make the throw over to first base, and it's in time to get McLean. So McLean is 0 for 3 today, and that will bring up the shortstop Benjamin Sems today, who's 1 for 2 with an infield single to lead off the 4th inning.
Wyatt Young's just a shortstop. There's no more beating around the bush about it. He just looks the part out there at this point, makes every play. That was as strong as a throw as we've seen from almost anybody all year out there at short. He just is playing it so well.
First pitch on the way to Sems. It rushes him back off the plate just a little bit, and the count will be 1-0. As that pitch misses inside. Sunset set for 8:18 here in South Yarmouth, so we're doing all right. About an hour and 45 minutes away from that as Sems dribbles it up the middle off of Kafka. It leaks into the space between third base and the pitcher's mound as Sems will reach on his 2nd consecutive infield single. So Kafka had that one glance off his thigh as he gives a thumbs up to the dugout saying that he's all right. It just glances off of him. And with 1 out, a base runner will be on at first for the designated hitter and the Northwoods League all-name team, Dallas Beaver. In case you missed that story, a fantastic one from Brian back in his last at-bat in the 4th inning.
It was a fun moment. Dallas Beaver, the top name in the Northwoods League apparently last summer, according to mostly the UCF voters. But good baseball player as well, not just a fun name.
So the UCF Knight will dig in from the left side facing Kafka. He'll await the first pitch from the tall righty. Curveball drops it on the outside corner for a strike, and it's 0-1. Now, if you were to pick one Red Sox, Brian, to be on the all-name team, who would it be?
I'm going to have to open up the full roster here. Give me a second to look at everybody top to bottom.
I got mine.
Early leader's Riley King. The last name King is solid, but I have to look at everybody.
0-1 on the way from Kafka. Swinging a fly ball deep center field. This is going to chase Wells back. He'll look up, and it'll hit the middle of the wall and bounce in front of Wells. Rounding second, heading to third is Sems. Into second with a slide is Dallas Beaver. So he'll reach with a 1-out double and put 2 runners in scoring position here for Mike Antico, the left fielder for the Gateman, as Beaver got all of that one and missed hitting a home run by about 5 feet here at Red Wilson Field. The short center field fence only 352 feet away. So Antico out of St. John's will step to the plate with runners on at second and third. I got my pick, Brian, if you want.
I think it's got to be Boyd Vanderkoy.
I got Legend Smith.
Legend
your
Smith.
first name is Legend.
Yeah, that's fair. Legend Smith. The first name of Legend's good, but Smith is as boring as it gets. So it almost works out to even. Like it's just middle of the pack. Legend is good as it gets. Smith is boring. Averages out to right down the middle.
Whew.
So that's why
hot takes over here from Brian.
I think Legend carries that one to near the top of the list, but Boyd Vanderkoy is just a great name as well.
Boyd with 3 outings for the Red Sox was deactivated yesterday. Season with the Red Sox coming to an end. First pitch on the way to Antico. Curveball catches the outside corner, and the count's 0-1.
Like Legend is, so you have the same then theory that Riley King should be near the top of the list as well.
Riley's a really common name.
Yeah, but King is not. So King and Legend, I think those two are pretty equal.
0-1 from Kafka. Curveball again misses a bit low, and the count will even up at 1 ball and 1 strike. I don't know. Differing opinions up here in the Whitey Red Sox broadcast table here on the deck at Red Wilson Field. Again, we apologize for no video feed today, as the game is being broadcasted on Fox College Sports, if you can find it in your cable package.
Drew Swift is another fun one. The last name Swift is pretty solid.
1-1 from Kafka. It's fouled up the first base side, a hanging curveball there. And the count will go to 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Kafka's an interesting name, too.
Yeah, I thought about that one. And Cullen is not all that common of a first name. Now I'm looking already at the Wareham roster, and Cameron Guangarina would probably lead them. That's a fun one for them. He's the left-handed hitting catcher.
1-2 on its way from Kafka. Fastball misses just off the inside corner, maybe a little bit low. And Antico has worked the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Wareham broadcasters, Gabe Genovese and Jonah Karp, situated down to our right. Maybe we should ask them. They might have an opinion on who might be the best on the Wareham roster as well. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Mike Antico. Kafka comes set at the belt out of the stretch. 2-2 on the way. Off speed's going to miss low, and the count goes full on Antico. 3 balls and 2 strikes. The Walnut Creek native struggled this past spring at Oregon, a 5.48 ERA in 14 starts. Off of third is Sems. Off of second is Dallas Beaver. Here's the 3-2 from Kafka. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Goes with the curveball and gets Antico to swing over the top of it, as that dove down and out of the strike zone right over the shoe stops of the St. John's product. So now with 2 outs, Matthew Rudick, the right fielder, will come to the plate. 0 for 2 with a pair of pop-outs today. So Rudick will step to the plate. He flew out to right in the second, popped out to third in the 4th inning. Kafka sets at the belt again. And now he'll step off. This time is called at home plate. 1-1 our score here in the top of the 6th inning between Whitey and Wareham. The Gatemen will run on 6 hits, 2 errors. The Red Sox will run on 3 hits, 1 error. Kafka peers in at Cardenas. He'll get his sign. Awaits and now fires the first pitch. Off speed, catches the inside corner. The count's 0-1. Darren Baker, although common, classic name here. As we mentioned, the son of Dusty Baker. We saw him earlier this season in Boston. He came to watch his son play the Red Sox up at BC High. Here's the 0-1. Swinging a ground ball, foul up the first base side. And the count snowballs and 2 strike. Dusty also famously the bat boy for the Giants in 2002, and in fact got picked up in the World Series. In that 2002 series between the Angels and the Giants by JT Snow, the Giants were scoring runs, and Snow had to scoop young Darren up off the plate when he was going to pick up the bat and swing him out of the way. Here's the 0-2 from Kafka. Fastball misses outside. Back pick to third by Cardenas, not in time to get Sems off the bat, as he dives back in with a headlong dive to the near corner. The count stays at 1 ball. Will go to 1 ball and 2 strikes. JT Snow now an analyst with the Pac-12 Network. But for Baker being the son of an MLB manager out here on the Cape, it's got to be real cool for Dusty to come watch his son play in the most prestigious summer league in the whole country.
I know Dusty's a big fisherman as well. I've seen him say that on a couple interviews. So he's got to be loved and all the fishing he can do here on the Cape.
A lot of ocean fishing. You can fish on the pond too. You don't have a big boat. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count here on Rudick. Kafka sets at the belt again. 1-2. Curveball misses down and in the dirt, blocked by Cardenas, and the count will even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Of course, gonna need a big boat if you go out onto the ocean here. Plenty of sharks, as the men in Jaws learned. Always helps to have a bigger boat out here on Cape Cod. Big reason I'm not a big fan of going in the water. 2 balls and 2 strikes here on Matthew Rudick. 2 men on, 2 out. 2-2 pitch, swinging a dribbler. Out towards Young at short, he fields on the run, throws over to first, and it's in time. Nice play by Wyatt Young at shortstop on the slow dribbler and makes the throw on the run to retire Matthew Rudick and get Colin Kafka out of trouble here in the top of the 6th inning. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th here from Red Wilson Field. It's 1-1 between the Gatemen and the Red Sox here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Campbell.
Bottom of the 6th inning here from Red Wilson Field. TJ Mathewson and Brian McLaughlin here from South Yarmouth. It'll be 2, 3, and 4 in the Red Sox lineup. Coming to the plate, facing Levi Prater for his 2nd inning of work out of the bullpen in relief of Brandon Fott. As the Red Sox are going to look to snap this 1-1 tie here in the bottom of the 6th inning. First pitch to Campbell, who turns around and bats right-handed for the first time today. Is swung on and missed, and the count's 0-1. Campbell went 0 for 2 left-handed against the starter Fott. As Prater kicks, and the 0-1. Broken bat, dribbler out towards short. Sems fields, throws on the run, and it's just in time to get Campbell. Campbell with good speed up the first base line, but a nice play by Benjamin Sems out at shortstop for retire the South Carolina Gamecock for out number 1 here in the 6th inning. So here's the center fielder, Austin Wells. He struck out looking and doubled here today. His double in the 4th inning, a bloop that landed in front of the right fielder, Mike Antico, as the first pitch will brush Wells back. It's 1-0. In front of Antico, and it skipped past him a little bit, allowed Wells with good speed to get all the way to second base. The left-hander waits the 1-0. He cuts through a fastball at the bottom of the strike zone, and the count goes to 1-1. Really good crowd here at Red Wilson Field tonight. The sun is out, and it brings out all the fans. 1-1. Swing and a miss from Wells, and he's behind 1-2. With all the wild, wet weather we've had here on Cape Cod, it's finally nice to, we've been getting some more sunny days over the past week. It's supposed to rain all weekend, and the rain stayed away. 1-2 on the way to Wells. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. Prater gets Wells looking with the fastball on the outer edge. And there's 2 down here in the 6th inning. And the third baseman, Riley King, will come to the plate. Brian, what happens when a ladybug lands on you? Do you remember? I just had one land on me. As
you brush it off.
As King will step to the plate from the right side. The third baseman, well, today, third baseman out of Georgia, swings at the first pitch and dribbles it foul up the first base side.
What happens? I just brush it off as quickly as possible.
Don't want to hurt the ladybug.
Of course.
Landed on top of my scorebook. It'll be all right. So the count's 0-1 here on King. Awaits the 0-1. It misses high and upstairs. And it counts 1 ball and 1 strike. I don't think that's ever happened to me calling a game before. 1-1 on the way to King. Misses inside, and the count's 2-1. I guess there's a time for firsts every day.
You never know. And that was one of them. Never know what's going to happen when you come to the ballpark.
2 balls and a strike on King. 2-1 from Prater. Lifted deep left field. That's going to back up the left fielder, Antico. It goes over his head and hops over the fence. Actually, they're going to rule it. It's a home run for Riley King. It looked like, oh, and now their umpire at third base is going to wave it off. It looked like it hopped over the fence, and it in fact did for Riley King as he hops one over the wall in left field for a ground rule double.
He tried to sell the home run. Just keep running. They won't make me go back if I just keep running.
From the University of Nevada,
I respect the hustle
Vegas.
from Riley King. He was trying to buy himself the first home run of the year.
It'll still be his first extra base hit of the year, as that's his first double of the summer. So he's got a double here in the 6th inning, a base runner in scoring position with 2 outs for YD. And pinch hitting for Jack Thomas Wold, it's going to be Riley Tirada.
University of Dayton, Riley Tirada.
So Tirada will bat here in the 6th inning and replace Wold, who finished his day 0 for 2. Tirada, one of the 3 Red Sox position players who got the pleasure of pitching yesterday, as he got the final out in the 8th inning when he struck out angler Charlie Welch. Looking, the second strikeout for Welch against a position player in 2 innings. Tirada awaits the first pitch from Prater. It stays upstairs, check swing, didn't go around. And the count's 1-0. So Tirada comes in relief of Sam Hall in that ball game. In the 8th inning, after Hall served up a single to Tyler Dones, comes in and he strikes out Charlie Welch swinging as the 1-1 is cut on and missed, or called strike, pardon, and the count will even up 1 ball and 1 strike. So saw some good action from the Red Sox position players on the mound yesterday. 1-1. Swing and a miss from Tirada, and it's 1-2 now on the pinch hitter. Drew Swift struck out the side yesterday in the 7th inning. Sam Hall didn't get a strikeout, but he was throwing the hardest of any Red Sox. His fastball was sitting around 86. About the speed that John Beller sits at, the starter for YD tonight. 1-2. Fastball misses away. It count goes to 2-2.
And all the guys were throwing strikes. Tirada and, of course, Swift get the strikeouts. Sam Hall had the most heat behind him. He got a couple soft flyouts in his appearance.
Prater peeks back at second, 2-2. Off speed, misses in the dirt. Collected by Del Castillo behind the plate, and the count will go full on Riley at 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Tirada was sitting in the low 80s. He told me today that if he wanted to, he probably had about 5 miles an hour more in the tank. He was just trying to create soft contact and ended up getting the strikeout. Didn't even want the strikeout. He was looking for the grounder.
How about that? 3-2 on the way to Tirada. Misses high and outside for ball 4. So Tirada will reach with 2 outs, the second straight 2-out base runner for the Red Sox, and that will bring up the left fielder Andrew Eister. And Drew Swift said the same thing. Swift fastball topped out at maybe 84, but the former closer at Hamilton High School, when he helped lead them to back-to-back state titles there in Chandler, Arizona, he said he could have thrown harder if he wanted to, but didn't want to push anything.
I think Sam Hall was rearing back for it. I think he probably had another mile an hour or 2. We think he might have been able to touch 90 if he had really reared back for one. But definitely, I think Swift and Tirada had some more left in the tank.
Here's Eister with 2 on and 2 out. First pitch will miss low for ball 1. But it's really not too often you get to see position players pitch here on the Cape. These guys, usually college teams, have such great depth that even in blowouts, they won't throw a position player. But Red Sox got treated to that yesterday as the Anglers took it to them 15-1. 1-0, check swing, a chopper in front of home plate, fielded by Castillo just in front of the plate. He'll field and throw to first base in time to get Eister. So Eister spoils the 2-on, 2-out trouble the Red Sox caused in the bottom of the 6th inning as he is retired 2-3 to end the 6th frame. We'll head to the 7th inning here from Red Wilson Field. It's all knotted up at 1 between the Gatemen and the Red Sox on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Center fielder.
Top of the seventh inning here from Red Wilson Field. Tie ball game at 1 between Wareham and YD. TJ Matthewson and Brian McLaughlin here with you from South Yarmouth. It's going to be the top of the lineup for the Gatemen as they look to break this 1-1 tie against Cullen Kafka in his second inning of relief. The right-hander out of Oregon will face the leadoff man for YD, or for Wareham, pardon. Braden Ward, the center fielder, is 0 for 2 today. Ward out of Washington. So the rival school of the Oregon Ducks. The 1-0. Swing and a miss, and the count will go to a ball and a strike on Braden Ward, the speedy center fielder. Ward batting from the left side. As he shows bunt, will bunt through it as the pitch curveball goes down in the strike zone. Ward over the top of it. And the count will go to a ball and 2 strikes. The biggest rivalry between the two schools almost has to be the football rivalry. Well, now Washington peaking under Chris Peterson up there in the Pacific Northwest. 1-2, curveball misses away. And the count goes to 2-2. The rivalry isn't quite there as much with the baseball schools.
They had a good basketball game this year. Of course, the Pac-12 struggled at times in hoops, but those were 2 teams at times at the top.
2-2, misses inside for ball 3, 3 balls and 2 strikes. In Las Vegas, Pac-12 tournament, the Ducks took down the top-seeded Huskies in a blowout.
That Ducks team was as hot as anybody in the country.
One of the best 12 seeds I've ever seen in the NCAA tournament. 3-2 on the way to Ward. Swinging a chopper out towards second base. Fielding it is the new second baseman, Riley Terada. He'll throw over to Tate Samuelson at first, and then he'll be in time to retire Braden Ward. With that play, we'll be able to point out the defensive substitutions for the Red Sox. Riley Terada takes over at second base when he pinch hit for Jack Wolf. Tate Samuelson will move from second base to first base. In the place we've seen him more often than not this season. So here's the second baseman, Darren Baker, another Pac-12 guy out of Cal. The second baseman is 1 for 3. Waits the first pitch, shows bunt, gets it down. A beauty down the third base side. Kafka off the bunt to field it. Now King comes in from third. They'll have no play. So Baker reaches on a bunt single on the infield. He almost couldn't have rolled that better up the third base line.
From Florida Southern College.
As the bunt single will have the Gatemen in business with 1 out and a runner on first for Jacob Teeter, who's driven in the only run for them today with a solo home run in the 3rd inning.
Definitely a beautiful bunt by Baker. He's got great speed, and he showed it there. Now a man on base for the middle of this order. Teeter and Del Castillo both had extra base hits in that 3rd inning off Bellet.
So here's Teeter, the Florida Southern product and the first baseman today for the Gatemen. Kafka out of the stretch now, fires the first pitch. Fastball on the inside corner for a strike, and it's 0-1. Baker swiped his 3rd bag of the season back in the 5th inning. It's 3 for 4. As he leads off of first base. A decent lead over there. Kafka, the right-hander, sets, now turns and throws over to first. Baker back of the dive. The count stays 0-1. Still a really good crowd here at Red Wilson Field. Maybe the best we've seen all summer yet. Perfect summer temperatures and the population on Cape Cod peaking as 4th of July nears. Just 2 days from now on Thursday. 0-1 to Teeter. Curveball misses down and inside, and the count's 1-1. Red Sox will be hosting on 4th of July this summer as the Hyannis Harbor Hawks will be coming to town. First pitch set for 5 o'clock. Fireworks expected both on and off the field. Kafka will set again. And the righty will now turn and throw over to first. An extra step taken by Baker before he dove back to the bag. Kafka almost caught him in between there. And the count will go to 1 ball and 1 strike. Now by fireworks, the Harbor Hawks have struggled mightily this season. Worst ERA in all the Cape League by over 2 runs. They sit at 3-12 this season. Kafka again a throw over to first, trying to keep Baker honest. So he dives back in there again. All 10 teams in action here on a beautiful sunny Tuesday evening here on Cape Cod. Another turn and throw to first. Kafka Can't get Baker as he dives back in.
Just trying to tire him out over there, maybe. All these checks over to first.
Other games going on. Katuitt up 2-1 over Bourne at Lowell Park in Katuitt. That one in the top of the 7th inning. Brewster up 3-1 over Falmouth at Gov Fuller Field in Falmouth. Harwich up 1-0 over Chatham in the bottom of the 1st inning. Curveball from Kafka on the 1-1 drops in there. The count will go to a ball and 2 strikes. Hyannis at Orleans tonight. Firebirds at Eldridge Park. First pitch there set for 7 o'clock. The only game yet to get underway. About first pitch in about 8 minutes. The 2 easternmost teams here on the Cape Cod start at the latest times. Chatham and Orleans. So the 1-2 is roped foul up the first base side. A swarm of kids will go into the field of play to get it. And now we'll retreat back. The count goes to 1-2. 2 of the most historic and nicest ballparks in the case there on the eastern end. Orleans and Chatham. Anglers play there at their home park of Veterans Field, where the Red Sox lost yesterday. While the Firebirds play at, I believe, 104-year-old Eldridge Park. 1-2, bluff on the steal from Baker. A pitch out from the Red Sox as Cardenas took a look down to first, but they couldn't catch Baker. The count will go to 2-2.
Slow developing inning here with Baker causing so much attention on first base. Definitely just kind of a nuisance right now for Kafka on the mound. You don't want to let him get into scoring position, though, with these dangerous hitters at the plate.
Teeter was hitting .345 entering play today. He's already homered. 2-2. There goes the runner and Baker, and at the pitch at the plate is fouled back as it dribbles towards the Wareham dugout. And the count will stay even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Red Sox and Gateman, record-wise, separated by a game apiece. Separated by half a game. The Red Sox 1 less loss than the Gateman, both with 9 wins and 1 tie, which equals 19 points. Red Sox tied for second in the Eastern Division with the Chatham Anglers. Kafka is set. Here's the 2-2. Runner again goes from third. Cardenas will throw down as the pitch misses outside. The throw is in time, and they got Baker. Strong throw from Noah Cardenas behind the plate. He threw out 50% of the runners this spring at UCLA as he catches Darren Baker stealing and says not so fast this time. After Baker stole a bag in the 5th inning, he catches him stealing here in the 7th to erase the base runner off the base paths.
Great numbers throwing out runners for Cardenas behind the plate, and he showed it there.
3-2 on the way to Teeter. It's going to miss outside for ball 4. So right as a runner is erased, Teeter draws ball 4 and will jog and take Baker's spot over at first.
From Miami
Not
University,
as prolific as a base stealer, however. Teeter over there, 6'6", towering around first base. But Cardenas got a good pitch to throw on when he cut down Baker. It was a breaking ball, so not a pitch out, but it missed high and outside, so he was already coming up out of the stance. Throw was good. It was accurate. Not even perfect right on the bag. Caught about head high by Young, but plenty of time to lay that tag down for the second out.
Not just an elite arm, a great defender behind the plate. Did not record a single error in this entire spring at UCLA. First pitch, curveball to Adrian Del Castillo will miss low, and the count is 1-0. I mean, for the number 1 team in the country, those are the numbers you expect. The top pitching staff in all the land at UCLA. They had a team ERA of under 3. Imagine that. Our ace Ryan Garcia went in the second round. 1-0. Swinging a fly ball out to deep right center field. Beasley, a couple steps back, now will come in a little bit, and he's there and makes the catch for out number 3 here in the 7th inning.
There will be a
So after a couple of runners reach on a bunt single and a walk, they're held off the base paths by Colin Kafka as well stretch here at Red Wilson Field. It's all tied up at 1 between the Gatemen and the Red Sox here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
first baseman from Cal
Bottom of the
Poly,
seventh,
San
we're still
Luis
even at
Obispo.
1 between the Wareham
Tate
Gatemen and the YD Red
Samuelson.
Sox. Tate Samuelson to lead off for YD. Here as we begin the seventh, we are even at 1 between the Gatemen and Red Sox. Samuelson 0 for 3. Still the lefty, Levi Prater, on the mound for the Gatemen. He's now covered in shadows, as is Samuelson at the plate. First pitch, breaking ball, dips below the knees of Samuelson for ball 1. Samuelson, the righty from Cal Poly. Now he's at first base for the Red Sox. The 1-0, cut on and missed. Strike 1 of the at-bat. It was an off-speed pitch that missed downstairs. But he chased 1-1. The 1-1, drilled in the air, pretty deep left field. That one's ripped. Going back on it, Antico. He's at the wall. It's gone. Home run. Tate Samuelson gives the Red Sox the lead in the seventh. His first of the year, a solo shot to left.
In between innings, Brian turns to me and says, it's time. Tate Samuelson is going yard right here. You couldn't have been more spot on. That was a no-doubter out to left center field. The first home run of the his Cape League season for Tate Samuelson. Finally flexing the muscles around home plate.
He has been making adjustments, and he had his best batting practice of his career today, TJ. He hit multiple balls to that same spot in left center. First pitch to Brad Beasley, a called strike, 0-1. And at one point, Scott Pickler, who's rare to dish out praise during BP, went up and gave him a fist bump. The 0-1, called strike from Prater, it's 0-2. Just said, you've made adjustments and your swing looks really good. He was locked in BP. 0 for 2 today. His one out was a line out. I felt one coming. The 0-2 misses down in the dirt. A ball and 2 strikes. And that's a big addition towards the back end of the lineup if Samuelson starts to swing it.
Absolutely.
The 1-2 to Beasley. Breaking ball misses away. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
The wind's not even blowing out that way. Didn't need any assistance. And had to turn around all the fans.
2-2 misses low in the dirt. And the count's full with none down here in the seventh. 2-1 YD.
Some field hockey games going out beyond the fence in left field. They got to watch out.
The 3-2 misses in the dirt. Ball 4, and Brad Beasley's aboard in the seventh. A man on first, nobody down, and the Red Sox lead by 1.
Catcher
looking for some
from
insurance
UCLA.
now. Tate
Noah
Samuelson just gave them the
Tadania.
lead with a solo shot to begin this seventh inning.
And that home run, huge too for a Red Sox team that really hadn't been piling up the hits today or the runs and been struggling to score. And broken through big for Whitey.
11th home run of the year for this Red Sox team. Austin Wells and Andrew Eister had combined for 7 of the 10 coming in. A check on first. It's overthrown. Down the right field line. Beasley's going to move up to second as Prater looking over to first. That's a second throwing error by a Gateman pitcher as Brandon Fott overthrew one back in the first inning. So now Beasley in scoring position. Still nobody out in the seventh.
Well, Prater trying to deceive Beasley. He made it look like he was going towards home plate and then turned and tried to throw it almost as hard as he could towards first base, and the ball ends up sailing on him straight into the crowd down the right field line. Makes it that much easier for Beasley to take second base. And how monumental that home run is, the best bullpen arm for YD so far, Taylor Dollard, is up and throwing.
We're in the bottom of the seventh. A visit with Jerry Weinstein out on the mound with the entire Gateman infield. They do have somebody tossing, but pretty softly still to this point down in their bullpen. Nobody prepared to go yet. Like you said, TJ, Taylor Dollard is tossing for the Red Sox. Through 7, the YD staff has been pretty solid today. John Beller allowed the only run, and it was a solo home run from Jacob Teeter back in the third. Colin Kafka has worked himself in and out of trouble in both the 6th and the 7th, but 2 scoreless frames nonetheless in his debut. An important insurance run out at second as the Gatemen disperse back to their positions. Brad Beasley with the lead there. Noah Cardenas 0 for 1 with a walk today. Is the 9-man in the order for YD at the plate now. The southpaw Prater spins and looks at second. Beasley strides back close to the bag. Prater lets his left arm hang loosely down to his side. Now he sets at the belt. Peaks at second base. The first pitch to Cardenas. He squares the bunt, puts it down to the first base line. Scooped up Prater. He'll throw to first. Out at first is Cardenas, but a beautiful executed sacrifice bunt by Noah Cardenas puts Brad Beasley on third base with less than 2 outs.
Then also after seeing Prater overthrow first base on the pickoff,
Wyatt
it's
Young.
interesting to see how he'll field a sacrifice bunt. He made a good throw over to first base and plenty of time to get Cardenas, but the bunt does its job. It moves up the base runner.
And now Wyatt Young, arguably the most consistent hitter in this YD lineup, including a base hit today in the first. He's hit in 5 straight games and is leading the league in average among qualified hitters at .357, including his 1-for-3 day today. Infield drawn in for the gateman. First pitch to Young, grounded through the right side, a base hit. All Wyatt Young does is hit. Another RBI single for the YD shortstop, his second knock of the day, and this one puts YD up 3-1 in the 7th.
And he picks a
Number
perfect
14,
spot, too, right through the
designated
drawn-in
hitter from the
right side of
University
the
of
infield.
South
Had the
Carolina,
infield been
Noah
playing back,
Gamble.
that might have been trouble, and the second baseman, Darren Baker, might have been able to get there. But with them drawn in on the grass, there was no chance for any of the infielders to get to that ground ball. And another base hit there for Wyatt Young, who's just been awesome this summer for YD.
They pick him off first. Throw by Prater, the relay to second. The tag is laid down by the shortstop, Sims, and they have Wyatt Young for the second out here in the 7th. Caught leaning by Levi Prater, the lefty on the mound, catches Young, and now there's 2 outs in the 7th. YD already has pushed 2 runs across on the Young single and the Samuelson solo blast. First pitch to Noah Campbell, misses low from Prater. It's 1-0.
That's just Young going on the first move, and once you commit, you don't want to stop the chance there's an overthrow.
Campbell rips the 1-0 pitch on the right side of the infield, bobbled by Baker. Wild throw to first, just in time. Able to get Noah Campbell.
Fans,
a sharply hit ground ball to the right side. Baker adjusted it in front of him, threw off the right foot in time to first, but YD strikes for 2 runs in the 7th. They lead it 3-1 after the Samuelson home run and the Young RBI single. We're through 7. This is Red Sox baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Top of the 8th. We're back here at Red Wilson Field in South Yarmouth. It's 3-1 as the YD Red Sox scored twice in the bottom of the 7th to take the lead over the Wareham Gatemen. McLean, Sems, and Beaver all due up for the Gatemen as we begin this top of the 7th. Still the Oregon Duck, Colin Kafka, on the mound for the Red Sox. He's thrown 2 scoreless innings so far in his first relief appearance. First pitch, a called strike. That's a breaking ball to McLean, and it's 0-1. McLean is 0 for 3 today. He popped out and is grounded out twice. The 0-1. Breaking ball misses down and away, a ball and a strike. Kafka out for his 3rd inning of work. We're in the top of the 8th, 3-1. The Red Sox lead the Gatemen. TJ, we both know, I think Taylor Dollard looming in the bullpen should the Gatemen get any type of rally started here in the 8th. The wind and the 1-1. Misses way high and inside over the head. McLean has to limbo out of the way. It's 2 balls and a strike.
Like that one just slipped out of the hand of Kafka. He's gotten in trouble in both innings he's pitched, but he's managed to wiggle his way out of it. I expect he won't get a chance to wiggle his way out of it if he allows a couple of base runners here in the 8th inning.
From the windup with the bases empty, the 2-1. Ground ball left side. Wyatt Young fields at his armpit at shortstop, fires to first in time to retire Matt McLean. A routine 6-3 ground out gets us started here in the top of the 8th. 3-1. YD leads Wareham.
From the University of Kansas, Benjamin Sims.
Lefty Benjamin Sims now to the plate to face the righty Cullen Kafka. Sims is 2 for 3 with a couple of singles today. He was stranded on first base in the 4th and left on third base in the 6th. Probably the best opportunity for Wareham today was that 6th inning. First pitch from Kafka, hit in the air, foul out of play down the third base line. Still tied at 1 back in the 6th. There were runners on second and third with just 1 out. Kafka was able to induce a strikeout to Mike Antico, and then a ground out to Wyatt Young ended the frame. YD would then strike in the bottom of the 7th for 2 runs. The 0-1. Breaking ball. Catches the outer edge. Great pitch by Kafka. It's 0-2 now to Sims. Sun still completely covering the outfield. Shade across the majority of the infield. The 0-2. Foul tip. Held at the plate by Cardenas, and it's strike 3. Second strikeout for Kafka on the mound. He's quick to retire the first 2 gatemen in the
University of South
Good pitch
Carolina.
there on the outside edge.
Beaver.
Able to miss the bat there of Benjamin Sims in his second strikeout. He's off to a good start here in the 8th inning. Quickly 2 up and 2 down.
2 outs, bases clear for Dallas Beaver. Shift on for the YD infield. First pitch breaking ball, a called strike. 0-1 to the big lefty. Beaver doubled back in the 6th. He was the man on second as Kafka was able to work out of the frame. The wind and the 0-1. Skips low in the dirt. Ball 1. Beaver also walked in the 2nd and flew out to center field in the 4th. Batting here in the top of the 8th, YD leads Wareham 3-1 on this beautiful Tuesday evening. The 1-1. Breaking ball skips down and in. 2 balls and a strike.
Get the sky.
Terada in the grass at right field at second. The 2-1 misses inside. 3 balls and a strike. Samuelson really guarding the line at first, and Young is shaded up the middle. YD leading by 2. A dangerous power man at the plate, but the bases are empty. Kafka from the windup holds the glove in front of his face. The 3-1. Swing and a miss over the top of a pitch. Down in the zone. Beaver might have chased ball 4. Count is full. 2 outs. Kafka looks in. Here's the payoff pitch. Fastball just outside. Ball 4. Cardenas trying to frame it for an extra moment.
The right
2-out
fielder
walk
from
to Dallas
St. John's
Beaver.
University, Mike
Now Kafka
Antico.
will face the tying run at the plate. Mike Antico.
Close pitch right there. Didn't miss the outside corner by much. See if Pick gives Kafka the leash to finish this inning. Looks like he will.
Beaver aboard for the 3rd time today. He's at first. Antico has reached once today with a walk, but he's 0 for 2. Yet to hit a home run this year. It's from the left side. The first pitch. Breaking ball. That's a strike called on the outside corner. Antico started the game in right field, but was the primary left fielder so far this year for the Gatemen. Starting the game in left was Mike Rudick for Wareham. The 0-1, swing and a miss. It's 0-2. So we're pretty sure around the 3rd inning, those 2 flip-flopped. For whatever reason, they started in the opposite corner outfield spots that they normally do today. So Antico now in left. Kafka from the stretch, sets. Beaver leads from first. The 0-2. Called strike 3. Paints on the outside corner from Cullen Kafka. He's worked 3 scoreless innings out of the bullpen and works around a 2-out walk in the 8th. 3-1. Red Sox lead it through 7.5 here at Red Wilson Field. This is the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Of Arizona, Austin Wells.
Back here in Red Wilson Field, it's 3-1 YD as they lead the Wareham Gatemen. It's Wells, King, and Terada set to face Michael Webb, the new man on the mound for Wareham, the righty from Rhode Island College, set to face Wells as we begin the 8th. Here's the first pitch. This is down and away to Wells, 1-0. Webb from the windup, his 1-0 pitch, grounded softly through the right side for a base hit. Past the dive of Jacob Teeter at first into right field, and Wells has himself a 2-for-4 day, a leadoff single to begin the 8th.
Third baseman from the University of Georgia.
Wells just being aggressive early in the count. It's his second hit of the game past the diving Teeter at first base. These insurance runs would be big for Whitey if they can just keep adding on. The bullpen, although Taylor Dollard has been spotless, the guy warming up in the pen for Whitey, bullpen in general has been quite shaky.
Now Riley King, he has himself a 2-hit day already. First pitch to him is a called strike, 0-1. King has a single-ended double, also a ground out to short. Batting with Wells on first, Whitey leading 3-1. 0-1 count to King. Webb in his second appearance checks on Wells at first, but he's back with a head-first dive. Only other time out for Webb was a few days ago against Katuitt. He went 2 innings in the 11-3 Kettleers victory, allowed 1 earned run on a couple of hits and 2 innings of work. The 0-1 misses away on a breaking ball to King. It's 1-1. 5'9", 175 on the mound as well. Here's the 1-1 pitch. King skies it first base side, nearing the boundary. That's going to reach the seats. Teeter gave it a jaunt down that first base line, but he runs out of room. 1-2 to King. King does not yet qualify for the batting title, but he's hitting .344 for the Red Sox. One of 3 men already today for YD with a couple of knocks, joining Wyatt Young and Austin Wells. Another check on first. Wells is back in plenty of time. King has only gone hitless for YD once this season in games that he started. Cuts and misses at the 1-2 breaking ball. King goes down swinging for the first out here, the 8th. One out. Wells still on
second
first.
Baseman,
the Red Sox lead at
from
3-1.
University of Dayton, Riley
Terada at the plate for YD. Terada pinch hit for Jack Wold in the 6th. Now he's facing the righty Michael Webb on the mound. He walked in that 6th inning. First pitch. Top softly, right side. The hit and run was on. Baker over to field. He'll shovel to first in time to get Terada. Baker was over towards the second base bag. Wells was off with the pitch. Baker was able to field it on his forehand and backhand shuffle it over to first base just in time to get Terada.
Even though that ball wasn't hit all that hard, the hit and run almost works
Now
out. It
batting
pulls Darren
from
Baker
LSU,
from his regular
number
second
2,
base position
Gavin
over towards the second
Dugas.
base bag. And then Terada hits a ball right where Baker would normally field it, so Baker has to turn around and run back to get it and just gets the throw over to first in time.
First pitch called strike to Andrew Eister. Eister hitless today. Wells on second, 0-1 count. 2 down, bottom of the 8th. The 0-1, cut on and missed. Actually, that's Gavin Dugas at the plate for YD. Dugas pinch hitting here for Eister in the 8th. Wells gets his lead from second. The 0-2 from Webb. Fastball just off the plate away. Dugas checked his swing. 1-2. One-two count to Dugas. The LSU man 1 for 8 on the season. Wells looking to add another insurance run at second. The 1-2. Dugas just tops it foul to stay alive. Sends it back to the screen. YD was trailing in this game 1-0. They scored 1 run to answer in the 4th, and then a 2-run 7th has them atop the scoreboard 3-1. Looking to win their 10th victory of the season. The 1-2 misses high and away to Dugas. 2-2. YD would even Orleans, who is already at 10 wins. They're at 10-4-2 atop this East Division. YD sitting at 9-6-1. Webb brings the 2-2. Cut on and missed by Dugas out in front of an off speed. And he goes down for the 3rd out here, the 8th.
Man,
second strikeout of the frame for Webb. And YD strands Wells at second. He had their only hit of the frame. It's 3-1 Red Sox. As we head to the 9th, they look to close out the Wareham Gate Min. This is the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
From Cal
Top
Poly,
of the
San
ninth
Luis
here at
Obispo,
Red Wilson
number
Fields
31,
YD,
Taylor
looking for win
Dollard.
number 10 on the
Now
season.
playing center
Taylor
field,
Dollard takes the
Jake
mound for
Palmer.
YD. Jake Palmer enters the game in center
Now
for the
playing
Red
left
Sox.
field,
Austin Wells is going to shift over to left for YD. Still Bradley Beasley and right to round out the outfield. It's Rudick,
the right
Ward, and
fielder
Baker.
from San Diego State University.
Two up here for
Matt
the Gatemen.
Rudick.
Rudick is 0 for 3 today at the plate. Taylor Dollard takes the mound for YD, looking to close things out. First pitch, a called strike on the outer edge to the lefty Rudick. 0-1. Dollard's been great so far for YD in 4 appearances. He's gone 7 1/3 out of the pen, 13 strikeouts without a walk. He is yet to allow a run. Works from the stretch. Base is clear. His 0-1. Change up on the inner edge. Strike 2. He's up 0-2.
Now, all we know with Dollard, he throws a lot of strikes. This summer, 13 walks, 13 strikeouts for it, and has yet to walk a batter.
No balls, 2 strikes. The pitch to Rudick. Fastball misses away. A ball and 2 strikes now. Dollard most recently struck out 4 back against the Harwich Mariners. The 1-2. Rudick holds his swing, and the pitch just misses upstairs. 2 balls, 2 strikes. He threw 2 2/3 against Harwich, and then, not most recently, I suppose, then against the Falmouth Commodores, came in with the bases loaded and 1 out, and he was able to record 2 strikeouts to get out of the 8th. The 2-2 lines back up the middle. That's a base hit for Rudick. Just the 3rd hit of the year off Taylor Dollard, and the leadoff man aboard for the Gatemen here in the 9th.
Just a hanging
Center
breaking ball on the
fielder from the
outside
University
corner.
of Washington,
Good hitting by Rudick with
Braden
2 strikes. He's
Ward.
just able to get that one right back up the middle, split the infielders.
Dollard still from the stretch. Rudick now on first. And it's the top of the Wareham order here. They trail by 2, top of the 9th. Wareham looking to stay in first in the West. YD trying to keep pace with the Orleans Firebirds, who currently lead the East. Ward at the plate. He's 0 for 4. Squares the bunt, first pitch, misses inside. He pulls back 1-0. Ward has struck out once, popped out a couple of times, and a ground out to second. Gavin Dugas has also entered the game at second base. The 1-0. Ward squares again, pops it up. First base side, incoming first baseman. Dollard slides, and he makes the catch. Both Samuelson and Dollard combined near the first baseline, somehow avoid any contact. A dangerous play. Dollard was the one who gloved it as he crossed the first baseline, and there's 1 out here in the 9th.
From the University
Man,
of California,
first of all,
Berkeley,
Braden Ward not
Baker.
a great execution on the sacrifice bunt as he pops that one way into the air. But in a space down the right field foul line, about halfway between first and home, where both the pitcher and the first baseman have equal amount of ground to cover to get there, and it ends up being Dollard having to dive, and he makes the catch. And you mentioned somehow avoided a catastrophic collision.
Now Darren Baker with 1 down, a man on first. He takes a first pitch, poured in, called strike on the fastball from Dollard.
Usually you want your first baseman to cover that. You want your pitcher to field as less as possible. But Dollard, as he likes to do with the 9th inning, likes to take control. And he did right there and made the catch.
Baker has reached 3 times today, once on an error by the starting pitcher, John Beller, twice on a hit. The 0-1. Skips in the dirt, picked by Cardenas. 1-1. 1 down, top of the 9th. YD looking to close out the Gatemen. It's 3-1. Jacob Teeter waits on deck. He has a solo home run today to account for the only Gateman run. Dollard looking for his 2nd save as a Red Sox. A ball and a strike to Baker. Dollard looks to first. Now he deals. Called strike. He notches the outer edge of the strike zone. 1-2. Shadows not really playing any factor here in the ninth. Sun settling behind a cloud for the moment. The outfield and infield about the same pitch. The ball and 2 strikes to Baker. An open stance from the left side. Rudick leads from first. Here's the 1-2. One hopper to the third baseman King. He throws to second, Dugas. Dugas the turn to first, not in time. Baker reaches on a fielder's choice. Thought the Red Sox might be able to turn a game-ending double play. It was softly spun off the bat to King at third. His relay was good to Dugas, but too much speed for Baker.
Yeah, Baker already a stolen base here today. With, you mentioned, good speed down that first base side. Not really a chance once it goes around the horn. Ball wasn't also hit all that hard on its way to King at third.
Tying run at the plate and some power. Jacob Teeter has a couple home runs on the season. One today on a line drive to straightaway center field. Dollard still from the stretch. The first pitch to Teeter. Called strike, knee high from Dollard. Oh, 0-1 count to Teeter. Red Sox lead 3-1. We're in the top of the ninth, 2 outs. Baker, pretty good base stealer on first, but he's been cut down once already trying to steal today. Dollard sets just above the belt. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss. Teeter went right through a pitch up in the zone. He was trying to even the score, eyeing up the house over the right field fence here at Red Wilson.
Power versus power right there, and Dollard wins that pitch. We'll see what he goes with right here. Way ahead in the count.
No balls, 2 strikes. Time called at the plate. Teeter wanted time, steps out, resets. If he can extend the inning, Adrian Del Castillo's on deck. Slight shift for the Red Sox infield. They'll play to lefty to pull. No balls, 2 strikes. Dollard deals. Curveball misses up. A ball and 2 strikes.
Tried to get him to chase off speed there, but Dollard did not put that one where he wanted. Just looked like it slipped out of his hand a little bit and missed outside.
King hugging the line at third. No doubles defense here by the Red Sox infielders. Dollard twists his shoulders, checks Baker once. He's not being held on. A ball and 2 strikes. The pitch to Teeter. Curveball, called strike 3. Taylor Dollard sets down Jacob Teeter, and the Red Sox get their 10th win of the season. They take it 3-1 over the Wareham Gatemen.
Gateman 1.
Behind a couple of hits from Wyatt Young, a solo shot from Tate Samuelson, the Whitey Red Sox improved to 10, 6-1 on the season. They now have 21 points and sit currently in second in the Eastern Division standings. A good win, TJ, and a good bounce back after the domination of yesterday. They will respond with a great home victory.
Yeah, and the one thing you got to look at, yes, the pitching staff gave up 8 hits, but the bounce back only giving up that 1 run. When base runners were on, all the pitchers for Whitey today, John Beller, Colin Kafka, Taylor Dollard, all had to work with runners on base. Yet when it mattered the most, they were there to slam the door. And how about that last pitch from Taylor Dollard? He misses with the curveball. It slips out of his hand a little bit outside, but then comes right back with another curveball and just drops it right in there for strike 3 and get Whitey that 10th win of the season.
Teams shaking hands over the pitcher's mound. We're going to step aside for a moment, get you the totals, and a quick post-game show. When we return, Whitey wins it 3-1 over the Wareham Gatemen. We'll be back in just a second on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Back at Red Wilson Field, Brian McLaughlin and TJ Mathewson here post-game as the Red Sox get a home victory over the Wareham Gatemen 3-1. YD tops Wareham. TJ, a really well-played one tonight for YD after some struggles yesterday. They get a bounce-back win, some good hits with runners on base, and the pitching was huge tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. The game in Chatham couldn't have been any rougher for YD tonight. They gave up 15 runs for the first time in over 5 years. The last time they did that was back on June 24th, 2014 against, coincidentally, the Chatham Anglers, a 16-14 loss, and their worst loss of the last point streak era years, which is 10 years dating back to 2009. But they did a great job of responding here today, giving up just 1 run on 18 hits between 3 guys who were really great. They allowed some base runners today. They allowed 8 hits, but when it mattered the most, as I mentioned before the break, they really buckled down. And a stat you brought up, the Gatemen left on a runner in every single inning. I mean, they had all the opportunities in the world and just couldn't cash in.
Total of 11 men left aboard for the Wareham Gatemen this evening. They also allowed 2 unearned runs on the mound. Only earned run was a Tate Samuelson solo blast to left center. YD takes it 3-1. So Wareham, while YD played well, the Gatemen struggled tonight. And that's a first-place team in the West that is looking to try to separate themselves from the rest of the pack. They have a lot of things to work on after this one.
And the Western Division in general, just the points all across the board are down. You have YD, Chatham, and Orleans, who looks like, as of right now, Brewster, too, will be around or at the top of the Eastern Division so far. Brewster is up 3, or actually, now down 6-3 as you refresh the scoreboard here at the Cape. But we've had some good battles between these teams. It's really going to be interesting to see how it plays out as the season goes on.
It's early in both Harwich and Orleans, but currently the Mariners lead the Chatham Anglers 2-0 in the bottom of the 4th. If Harwich tops Chatham, then YD will be in sole possession of second place in the Eastern Division. Meanwhile, in the bottom of the 2nd, Orleans already up on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks 3-0. So Orleans looking to continue to separate as the top team in the East early in this Cape League season. TJ, a good win tonight for YD over the Gatemen. Wyatt Young gets a big knock in the 7th, an RBI single. He has 2 more hits. Austin Wells, 2 more hits. Riley King has a couple of knocks as well. Only 3 runs to show for it on the scoreboard, but it feels like the YD offense, that's a bounce-back performance as well after getting shut down by the Chatham Anglers.
And we mentioned it yesterday. The only team this YD offense has really struggled against all season has been the Chatham Anglers. It's shown in their 3 games. Otherwise, they really haven't had much trouble hitting the ball around the yard. Today was the most overwhelming offensive performance. When they needed it, they got the job done.
It's going to do it for TJ and I here today from YD. A massive win for the YD Red Sox. They take it 3-1 over the Wareham Gatemen. Coming up next for the Red Sox, they will actually match up with the Hyannis Harbor Hawks tomorrow as well as Thursday on the 4th of July. So it's going to be a back-to-back with the last team in the Western Division. So YD gets their first licks at the Harbor Hawks. Starting tomorrow, we will be in Hyannis for that one. Then back here at Red Wilson Field on the 4th of July. YD takes it 3-1 over the Wareham Gatemen. Final line for you: Wareham 1 run, 8 hits, 3 errors, 11 left aboard. YD 3 runs, 7 hits, 1 error. They left 5 on base. Cullen Kafka in his debut gets the win. He's 1-0. Levi Prater takes the loss for the Gatemen. He gave up those 2 7th-inning runs. Taylor Dollard, another dominant performance late in this one. He gets his 2nd save of the season. This game only took 2 hours and 25 minutes. We were cruising along here from Red Wilson Field. YD now 10-6-1, 21 points. Wareham 9-8-1, still at 19 points on the season. For TJ Mathewson, I'm Brian McLaughlin. We'll talk to you tomorrow from Hyannis. This is the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.